Joker against 3. If any class can do it, oh no, sorry, I'm missing against 3. Thunderbound, it's a 3-man KD! Traded back, pushing forward. Warrior goes for the reckless right there, managed to get the KD. No, did not manage to get it off of Matoko. A little too aggressive, Ryan in to help his teammate. Get a CC on the fields. First CC on the ground, he's gonna get the follow-up damage, but no.
European TUVALA Cup for Season Dracania. I am your host, CM Durgaf, and with me on the desk I have the wonderful Sly Nations from the NA side, and for the first time for you EU guys, an EU partner on our desk today, Zect. Hey man, how have you been?
Hey man, I've been super good so far. I had a really nice trip to the US. And yesterday we had a great stream with the NA tournament, and I'm super excited for the EU side obviously today. We have a lot of we have more teams than yesterday, so it will be definitely a bit longer. And yeah, I'm excited to host this with you guys.
Well, it's great to have you on the desk. Always good to have a European person here for the European tournament. So really glad that we can have you here today. And Sly, man, how was NA?
NA was interesting.
Yeah.
Let's just say I was not anticipating Booty Blasters to be the champions, but
spoilers for anyone who didn't watch that.
True. If you want to go see it, I mean, you can go check it out. The VOD is up, so yeah, it was an interesting fight.
For sure. And I also just want to mention, for any of you who are speaking French, we do have a French restream going on. Zek TV is hosting that on his Twitch channel, so go ahead and check that out. Sly, you speak French, right?
Yeah.
Can you say that in French?
I mean, okay. So si vous voulez regarder le stream en français, tu peux attraper le stream avec Zek TV sur Twitch. So ça va être en français au lieu de nous qui parlons en anglais.
Perfect.
Ouais.
Appreciate it.
Ouais, c'est ça.
Well, let's go ahead and get into what we're doing today. Let's take a look at our format for the rounds that we have today. So we have actually starting from the round of 8A and then moving into the quarters and semifinals. So for all 3 of these sections, it's going to be best of 5 in our 3 versus 3 tournament. Once we move on to the 3rd place match, that's going to change to a best of 7 rounds. And we also have, in the Arena of Arsha, HP decreasing over time. So once the timer hits that 2-minute mark, maximum HP will decrease by 20%. And once it hits that 1-minute mark, it will decrease by 50%.
That's the kill zone right there.
Yep.
That is the kill zone. Let's take a look at some of our rewards. So the Grand Finals winners for our tournament today will be taking home 20,000 pearls, as well as 30 gold Arsha coins and a 15-day Blessing of the Old Moon pack each.
So for anybody who doesn't know, about the Arsha coins.
Yep.
Yes, so these gold Arsha coins are a nice commemorative token, but you can sell them to any vendor for 50 mil silver apiece. So that 30 coins equates to about 2 bill silver.
Okay.
Siege payout.
And our 2nd place winners will be taking home 15,000 pearls, 20 of those gold Arsha coins, and the same 15-day Blessing of the Old Moon pack. Meanwhile, our 3rd place winners are going to take home 10k pearls, 15 of those coins, and a 7-day version of the Blessing of Old Moon pack.
Still kind of juiced.
Still kind of juiced. Now, if you do make 4th place in this tournament, you'll take home 6k pearls and 10 of those coins. Everyone who makes it to the quarterfinals will take home at least 6 of those coins. And for those of you that do not make it into the quarterfinals today, you will get 2 of those gold Arsha coins.
Yeah, you guys, you really don't want them. Don't try to make it.
Gotta shoot for the stars, get that gold.
Boys.
For sure. Well, let's take a look at our bracket for the first couple of rounds today. So we are going to be splitting this into 2 sections. The first is going to be our round of 8A leading into the quarterfinals. So in our round of 8A, we have Team Savage versus Flex, followed by Cheers Brother, fighting Kevin's Bandom, followed by Good Morning Club versus Laparca, and then on to Dark Triad versus Weed and Stuff.
Weed and
Weed and
stuff?
stuff.
Okay, all right.
And the winners of those matches will advance into the quarterfinals round, which is this top section here. Meanwhile, all the teams that are already in there have gotten a bye.
Those are
and
buys, right? Okay.
Exactly. So they are already in the quarterfinals. So we're going to go through these 8 matches, and then I think we'll take a little break, and then we'll go into the rest of the tournament.
Okay.
Perfect.
So our first match of the day, let's go ahead and take a look at this matchup. We do have Team Savage versus Flex. On the Team Savage side, we have Azeros on the Musa.
Musa.
Yes.
Oh my god, a Musa. Wait a second. Okay, that's what I like to see. All right.
We have, I believe that's pronounced Dzanovic on the Sorceress and Muhammad Ali on the Zerk.
What a team. Okay.
On the Flex side, we have Alf Silfrid on the Warrior, Dicey on the Mystic, and Astrological on the Guardian.
Definitely, we see already we have Guardians here, so we know we are in the EU. So we have a lot of Guardians.
There's a lot of Guardians. Well, we also have a Musa this time around.
Yeah,
There were
I'm
no-
going to be judging him. I'm going to be looking at him. And, I need to see.
Well, there were no Musas on the NA side, so it'll be interesting for us to see. These are
Okay.
2 classes that we haven't seen in TUVALA Cup finals yet. The Musa and the Guardian were not present on the NA side.
Yeah.
The Musa is a ninja main, though.
Oh boy.
He's a ninja
Oh,
main. It's just
boy.
So it's
Okay.
the
Played
exact
Musa
opposite of
recently.
you.
Yeah, so my tag is a ninja. I play Awakening
Yeah.
only, though. So, well, I mean, we'll see. I'm curious to see how he plays with the Musa, if he's adopted the play style or the positioning. It is a lot of people think it's it's easier to play because of the combos are easier to pick up. But Musa is a very technical class when it comes to you need to know your opponents. You need to know what they're capable of so you can know what you're capable of.
Absolutely.
And then your positioning is very important on Musa. So I'm going to be looking to see how he kind of plays off. This is going to be an easier fight for the Musa because he does have stationary targets. He does have the Guardian he can bully. He does have the Warrior he can bully, right? He's got to be worry about the grab from the Warrior for sure, right? Because it will be I believe it's an Awakened Warrior, right?
It is an Awakening Warrior.
Yeah, so it's an Awakened Warrior. And then he's got a Succession Mystic as well that's probably going to be hunting him down. His job in this, right, he's going to be kind of not the playmaker. The playmaker is always the Berserker, right? You
Yeah,
should never get
Berserker.
his role mixed. The playmaker is going to be the Berserker. He is going to be the finish, right? His job is to make sure he confirms the kill, right? Especially with Fiery Crevice. So
You love that skill, right?
oh, he has no choice. It's
yeah,
bread and
I
butter
know,
for Musa.
I know
It's
what
literally bread and butter.
It is.
So he's got to be the confirmed killer guy and like maybe the pull some aggro and kind of like peel for his team.
But you're definitely at a point that I also think this team with like 2 rats, kind of Sork
Yeah.
and Musa, and with the range pressure from the Awakening
Yeah.
Berserker, Flex will have a hard time,
They-
especially
for
the
sure.
Guardian.
I think the Sork just needs to do Sork things and stay
Sork
alive
things,
and
yeah.
just be annoying. And Flex, unfortunately, is going to have to ignore the Sork, right? And worry about the Berserker and kill the Berserker.
Yeah.
Because the Berserker is the playmaker, right? If they kill the Berserker, then the rest of the team falls apart.
It is definitely a very interesting team matchup because on the Team Savage side, they're going to be playing very split.
Yeah.
Almost never balled up on each other.
Yeah.
The Zerker's just going to be running around, you know, taking range when he can, or because I believe it's Awakening.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
It's
so probably just taking range. Meanwhile, the Moose is just going to be zipping around. The Stork's going to be, you know, doing her thing.
I mean, it could actually
Meanwhile,
be
on the
Zerk.
other side, though, with 3 like very tanky frontline classes, they're going to kind of be
in
like
Tuvala?
Into-
okay.
Tuvala,
Well,
yeah,
what I mean is they're going to be much less mobile and much more
Yeah.
grouped than the opposing team. So I'm very much looking forward to see how these teams play. I do believe we have round 1 ready, so let's get right into it.
Gates are open.
Okay.
First match for today.
Looks like we have Flex. It looks like they're taking this. All right,
Take
it looks
the
like
middle here
everybody's
already.
taking a slow time coming out of the gates. Interesting. Very
Guardian
passive
already
playstyle.
E-buff there. They're grouping as we said
Okay,
earlier.
they're
definitely
debuffing.
grouping.
No commitments for any of the players. Oh, it looks like. Wait.
Wait,
Looks
wha-
like that's a
what
Succession
was that?
Berserker,
The
not
Succession
Awakening.
Berserker was just
It's a
standing there for a
Suck
second.
Zerk. It's a
Okay, so
Suck-
Succession Berserker,
it's a
not
Suck
Awakening.
Zerker.
So this is going to be
Yeah.
a little different of a playstyle. Warrior
But
immediately getting
got
CC'd.
CC'd
He's
here.
taking, yeah,
No follow-up.
definitely tanky though. Okay, I see what you're talking about there, Geff. He immediately has to V for no
V?
reason, though. And because he V'd, his Guardian's going to have to V now. Sork, like I said, is just going to be dancing around. A lot of people are going to ignore him. The Musa kind of trying to play the long-range battle. He should definitely just stay in Awakening, try to keep up with the Guardian, focus the Guardian, because now there's no Vs. Warrior should be dying here soon. Warrior's disengaging, but
Mystics also
disengage.
got CC'd here super low, actually could die here, and
Oh my god! Okay, there it
Mystic died,
is.
yeah.
I was like about to say, if he survived that.
no.
Okay, Musa's very low. He still has more health than a lot of people. He needs to go back in there and get the
The
kills.
Zerg also died off screen here, but the Guardian and the Warrior, they're both not really well in terms of health.
The Musa's playing too passive.
It's still a Guardian, man. She has a lot of damage.
It's not the
She's-
Guardian he needs to be killing. He needs to kill the Warrior. The Warrior is at 6% health.
But they're protecting each other, like you can see here. He has a circle with 100 DP.
There it is.
There-
There
there
it
it
is.
is.
You see
There it
below
is,
the belt
yeah.
to get the
Yeah.
kill. There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
You know, I don't think that this warrior got the memo that he needs to put pots on.
Yeah, I think he has 0 pots.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he has 0
And there
pots.
we have the first point.
Maybe
point
GM
first.
Wisdom notify our GMs
Yeah,
to
that's-
He
make
was
sure
not
this guy has
healing.
pots.
Right?
No.
No.
He had 6 health for literally a minute.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying for the Musa, like,
Yep.
go take your
Just go in,
advantage.
just
Like,
go
go in.
But I think he didn't realize that. Like, you don't think.
Well,
that
no, you
people
can
don't
see the health.
Yeah, but you don't think that people don't use pots, right?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Or he just didn't have the right pots equipped or whatnot.
Right, yeah.
Anyways, pretty interesting first round. We did actually get that that confirmation that the Zerker was playing Succession, so
Yeah.
that team's going to be even more split, in my opinion,
Yeah.
than the Awakened. With the Zerker just running around, the Musa just running around, the Sork just dancing around. Like
It's-
they're almost never going to be balled up on one
Yeah,
another
it's
unless they
kinda
get unless they get that pick. Basically, it's
Yeah.
the only reason that they would converge.
They will try to always find an opening
Mhm.
on Team Flex, but I don't know if Team Flex stays together and they maybe pick off one, get a CC on one.
They Team Flex can't split.
they can't.
Team
they
Flex
can't.
has to stay together
Yeah.
because the weakness of Team Savage is if the Berserker, because it's Succession, overcommits and thinks he's tankier than he actually is,
Right.
and ends up going in and getting abolished or demolished by the Guardian. The
Yeah.
Succession
Yeah.
Guardian's going to do so much damage.
And if they stay balled up, that also means that whenever the Zerk dives anyone, then the warrior can just slow him.
Exactly,
Instantly,
exactly,
just slow
immediately.
him.
And then that's going to be his weakness.
You also have the Guardian Circle, DP
Yeah.
buff. Not to underestimate that. It's a lot of DP, especially when you have not that much gear.
I am rather impressed with the Musa because he's doing exactly how I said he should be playing. And
Mhm.
yeah, he is playing super passive, which he doesn't have to do. He could be aggressive, but then he realizes he's aggressive with his protections, right? And then afterwards, for his unprotected stuff, he can go back to being passive or long range. But it's fine, though. It was just a first round. I'm curious to see how the second round goes.
For sure. I do believe we have round 2 ready to go, so let's go ahead and take a look at that.
All right, match is already. I'm already action here. Like we see Team
Okay,
Flex
see, like I
trying
said,
to- yeah,
aggressive with his protections, and
trying
then
to get the
disengages.
CC here. Mystics going for the sword,
Bad idea for the
but
Mystic.
it is kind of
He
bad.
needs to
It-
protect. Yeah, he needs to
He
protect
needs
his
to
team.
stay with his teammates.
Yeah, you see, that,
Yeah,
this is
Mystic CC'd and now the
Musa went into something extremely unprotected, holds the wall for the Cross Crusher foul play,
Musa also
ends up
died
getting
there. Yeah.
killed because of it.
Yeah, that was not that great. But
Oh.
the Mystics also, it's a
Warriors.
2v2.
Excuse me, Guardian's so slow.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Guardian slow doesn't really matter. Okay, Berserker coming in. It's like we said, remember, Zerker takes a lot of chip damage because he decides to engage. The Guardian just needs to go into something absolutely protected with SA. Just hold your guard.
We got a CC here on the Guardian, I think.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Sork is gaming right now.
Sork's gaming, yeah. Really well played from the Sork. So 1v2, I think we saw V here,
This
yeah.
could be
okay.
doable for the Warrior, but he has got so much. Like, okay, he's got health pots now. Okay, so he can do this now.
He has a
Surely
he has
he can do
outputs
this.
now.
And he gets
no,
he gets
no.
CC'd, yeah.
No.
To be fair, I think Team Savage was not playing too bad with the Warrior and the Guardians playing together. Like,
Right.
the Mystic was a bit off there. Was always trying to go for someone, but maybe should stay with the group instead of...
So here's the issue that I saw. I don't know if you guys caught it, but the Guardian, I don't know why I see this all the time. A Guardian sees a Sork and immediately just starts going into forward guard skills. Why?
Okay.
You have a 360 shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Block all the damage. Block it. Like, you won't die. It's, you know, it's TUVALA Cup. He doesn't have 300 AP. Right? He won't kill you. and you're also a Guardian, you just use Black Blood Circle, so you have that DP buff for a couple of seconds. You don't have to go into a forward guard. He actually got CC'd there because he tried to, I think he tried to grab, right? And he's doing a bunch of unprotected stuff when he can just be protected and not have to worry about the Warrior either because it's also a shield class, right?
Yep.
They didn't really play their shields. So.
For sure. And I believe after that Guardian got CC'd, then the opponent also got CC'd on top of him.
Yeah, because he was going into
just ended up piled on top of each other.
Yeah.
Again, like with these 3v3s, players have to be really careful about sort of tunnel visioning into one character and say like, oh, I got the CC, I need to drop full combo. It's like, nope, there's almost always going to be peel from the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You really have to worry about that.
So don't overcommit.
Exactly. Well, I do believe Flex has to make some changes because this is potentially their tournament round here. I'm interested to see what they can do in this round 3. Let's take a look.
Our gate's still down.
Gate's about to open now. Match has commenced.
Looks like they're taking it. Okay.
I think Team Savage actually should play like they did with the other two matches. They're absolutely fine. Team Alex definitely needs to change something.
Well, Flex is being too aggressive. They don't have to be. Good Black Blood Circle. Kind of zoning out their opponents.
Yeah, that was
they're staying close to
each other.
Guardian immediately went in and tried to grab.
Mystic
got absolutely punished.
Yeah, but the Mystic already died there. Like, also we saw no V from the Mystic. I don't know why it didn't be there.
Like, he was probably KD'd, but
he was stunned.
Yeah. Warrior goes down too.
Yeah, this is too much damage for them.
Yeah.
Team Savage is the winner.
They played well.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Team Savage. They will be moving on into the quarterfinals round. And for Flex, great effort, really difficult matchup. Team matchup was really, really rough for them.
I think it was just the roles. They didn't really, like, I don't know if you saw that, but the Guardian tried to, like, he frontlined all the way and tried to go for a grab. Missed the grab, right? And then got absolutely punished for it. So he was already out of the fight because he chose to go for a 1v1, right? He was the front line. He tried to go for the 1v1. And then afterwards, he gets to 1v1, but then he gets punished because he went into something unprotected, the grab, right?
Yeah.
Because he whiffed it. And then afterwards, he had to V. So in that moment of time that he's Ving, he's not helping his teammates, and they're in a 3v2. So this is why you don't write, especially if you're like a Guardian, you're a slower class.
Right.
Your job isn't to go for the initiation, to go for the CC. It's just, it's too slow. You have to wait for your teammates to do that. Either the Warrior could be your front line, or even, what's it called? The
Mystic, was it?
Yeah, the Mystic. The Mystic should have been their playmaker.
Probably,
right?
yeah.
The Warrior has to look for certain things that he can, like, assist with.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Warrior should just be looking and waiting for the dive.
Yes.
You know, waiting for the dive from the Zerker, slowing him immediately.
Yep.
And then potentially going for a CC on him because Zerker has more of these frontal guard skills to worry about now instead of just being perma-SA.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he was more often than not on the ground first.
Yeah. Every time.
Which is
not good.
Not ideal.
Yeah, that is not a good thing.
Well, let's take a look at how these brackets look now that Team Savage has moved up into the quarterfinals. So they will be fighting against Season Heskey in the quarterfinals. But before we get into the quarterfinals, we do have these round of 8A matches to get through. The next one is going to be Cheers Brother versus Kevin's Mandem.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother.
So let's take a look at that matchup.
Do we take a shot every time Cheers wins?
Maybe. This stream could...
oh, this is an interesting team.
This is a really
This
interesting
is a very,
match.
very interesting one. So Cheers Brother is GTL on the Warrior,
okay.
God on the Sork, and
Splice,
Pinda on the Striker. We've seen this team before, but before we get into that, Kevin's Mandem is Zoo on the Kuno, Siri on the Dracania, and Rias on the Mystic.
So this is a really interesting match. It's main versus main, right?
Yeah.
It's so GTL, God, and Pinda, they are a part of the AoE.
Right.
They won the AoE. I mean, they had Jacob in there back then. Now
So it was Pinda, GTL, and Jacob.
And Jacob, yeah.
And they won the European Arena of Arsha.
The AoE tournament, yes.
Yes. But now they're back, swapped out Jacob for God, and now they are trying to run it back into TUVALA Cup, right?
Yeah. But on the other side, we also have a really skilled team with Zoo on the Kuno, really good Kuno player, Siri, super good PvP player in general, played Tamer before, is now on Dracania, and Reyes on the Mystic. So they should not underestimate this team.
Mhm.
I still think that Cheers brother is like it's in a favor here, especially because GTL and Pinda, they work so well together.
Yes.
They play together for years.
Yep.
But this will be definitely an interesting match.
And once again, Cheers Brother is also running like very bread and butter team
Right.
for this tournament with the Warrior, the Awakened Warrior,
Awakened
the
Striker,
Awakened
Sword.
Striker, and then the Awakened Sword.
I mean, it's all Awakening versus Succession.
that is true.
Yeah,
It's
that
all
is-
Awakening versus Succession. So this.
But I mean, those three classes specifically is essentially that is the most basic team you can run.
Yeah.
Essentially
Probably,
in these 3v3s, and they also have all the synergy to pull it together. So they have all the tools that they need at their disposal. It's really just going to come down to individual player skill in this main versus main match. I do believe we have round 1 ready to go. So let's go
find
ahead
out
and
who
take
the
a
better
look
main
at
team
that.
Find out. Let's find out. I'm super hyped.
Will Splice be shot calling his team to victory? Let's find out,
Yeah,
boys.
let's find out.
All right, playing together, playing together. Splice trying to get a good flank position. Already throwing out the damage. Dracania
saw
is
a
trying to
V
get
here.
some. Oh, Dracania
got
went into
to
his
see
forward
the
guard.
forward guard in the
Unfortunately
middle.
caught.
Ozu's actually playing Awakening Kuno. You don't see this often.
That's actually,
doing-
to be honest, that's really good because he caught Pinda with it. Pinda,
Yeah, nearly
what an
died there.
insane V.
Nearly
That was a good
died there.
reaction time on the V. Kuno not
So-
being overly aggressive, looking for a catch.
Oh, nice CC there from GTL, but unfortunately got stiffened, couldn't follow up. So Rias already died, so it's 2v3.
Not being able to catch anything. This Kuno is kind of gaming. Dracania. Caught
Dracania got
again.
CC'd there, yeah. Need to be careful now. I still think
2v3 right now. It's a
it's
2v3 right
really
now.
hard for them.
Dracania didn't use its E-buff, so it will have E-buff next round, or even now.
Got
Grabs him out
grabbed,
of
got
PA.
grabbed out of PA. Yeah. Even though he has PA, he will probably still.
He'll be able to get up.
Oh yeah, he will actually
Wow. God
Oh,
just
yeah,
goes
he-
down.
killed the
Oh,
sword.
easy grab. Good stuff.
that's a
GTL is
lot.
he's being very oppressive with the grab, and that's
He
exactly
is,
what he should
yeah.
be doing when he's fighting against the Dracania.
It's not only that GTL in general. It's like with his solar grabs, they're so on point.
Yeah.
It's super hard to dodge it, and they need to respect that. That,
Oh,
he can-
absolutely,
that he's
absolutely.
able to do that.
It's something that a lot of players, they're actually not really, like, it's a reaction time, right? When you see the solar flare, you have to manage the distance, right? You need to know, okay, that's their head chase, right? That's the distance of their head chase, right? And you got to keep in mind, their solar flare is on a dime,
Yeah, it's,
right?
it's super hard to react to that skill.
It
in
is
general,
very, very
yeah.
hard to react to it, but you have to keep the distance knowing that he has solar flare.
That it
he
can
could
happen,
at
that
any
it's-
point
yeah,
in
yeah.
time. Exactly, like you said. Like, respect the
Yeah,
solar flare.
respect the
Yeah.
solar flare, yeah. But really well played from both teams, I think, so far.
Yeah, for
and do we have the next round ready?
Not quite, but it is actually very interesting. We were sort of talking about the struggles that Draconians will have in this tournament with grab classes on the
Yep.
opposing
Yeah.
side. So this is
Okay.
absolutely the case in this match where the Draconian has to worry about not only the warrior, but also,
So,
as you were
striker.
saying, the striker.
Yeah.
So as soon as she goes into that self-PA, she's going to get grabbed. As soon as she's stationary, she's going to get grabbed, which is going to be very, very difficult for the Draconian, but at the same time, she's still one of those classes that can just fly in and delete someone.
There
Yeah.
is
We
a
saw
class.
this with the Soak. He deleted
Yeah.
God pretty much. But I have to say, even like with Pinda and GTL, you have probably the worst matchup as Dracania
Yeah.
because those two players, they don't miss
Well,
their
that's where the
grab.
Kuno
sure.
comes in, though, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It
before we
being-
get into all the analysis, we do have round ready for number
Okay,
2,
perfect.
so let's go ahead and see if they can make some changes.
I want to see what this Kuno does. Because this Kuno is the playmaker. This Kuno...
It's really interesting that he's playing Awakening.
Yes,
Like,
but that's a good thing.
it is.
Yeah.
It is 100%, especially after the Sakura nerfs. So let's see how.
Already catch a GTL, no follow-up with the re-CC. Good zoning from the Sork. They already lost their Mystic.
They lost the
That's
Rise.
the Mystic is already down.
He was too
No
aggressive
V
there.
either. Literally just no V either. Any E-buff. Okay,
We
Draconia's
saw-
trying to stay alive.
Oh,
Gonna get
Yeah,
grabbed before he goes into
instant
the PA.
in the PA. I think he got still the buff, so he's still
Very tanky, yeah.
alive, but it will still be hard. It's a 2v3 again. They focus the Mystic first.
Oh, big catch, but no re-CC from the Kuno. I did see the block jump grab. Definitely whiffed it. This Kuno is trying its best. 1v3.
Oh, got
That's
CC there, unfortunately. Instant delete, and the next one goes to Cheers Brother.
the Mystic needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
If the Mystic stays alive, I think they can catch a round. Because the Kuno is getting the initial CC.
Yeah.
Always. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is the second time that GTL, right, has been CC'd
I think
at
the
the
third
very
time,
beginning.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
third time. Okay, so third time that he's been CC'd at the very beginning of the round, but just no follow-up. There's
Right.
zero
Yeah.
follow-up, right? His teammates need to be wary of that. They need to be, observant. They need to see that, okay, you got the stiff and you got the stun. Can I KD? Can I bound? Can I float? Can I do something, right?
Exactly.
But they're all too busy or caught up with their own moment. And that we go back to the whole tunnel vision thing. You can't be. It's a
No,
3v3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think this Dracania is perhaps just like casting
Yeah.
a lot of the time, and this is really problematic for 3v3s with Dracania, is if she just goes in and just like casts stuff willy-nilly, she's basically just going for like random one-shots, which really isn't going to work out against a coordinated team like this.
Yeah,
If she
in this case, it's not.
if she waits for the Kuno to get the CC, she can immediately dive in instead of being stuck in one of her skills and unable to do anything about
Yeah.
the follow-up. So
That's actually a good point.
let's
yeah.
see if Kevin's Mandem is able to make some changes to their strategy and maybe turn this match around in round 3.
Hopefully. Or else we're going to have to
The
take some
gates are
shots for
open.
Cheers Brothers. All right. Looks
Going
like
a bit more defensive this time.
well, they have to collect and change up their strategy. This could be their very last
Cheers
round.
Brothers goes really aggressive there.
Not catching
the
anything.
Soul-
Probably just trying to stay protected.
Yeah.
Slow swap. That was a slow
So
swap.
that was. Oh, got a
Instant
nice
grab.
grab, but I think it's not able to really combo here.
No, he did.
Rails
just
he,
goes down.
he insta died.
He died. Yeah, Pinda has
And
to
recovering
V
from a
there.
V. This is all their rebuffs on the line right now.
But they play together really well. You see
Ooh, the
synergy.
Dracania doing a lot of damage to GTL.
Oh,
GTL has his
to
V.
Yeah.
What a good
Yeah,
reaction.
So you see if they play the
Big grab from. Oh my god, big grab from the Kuno, but no re-CC.
No follow.
There it is. Oh my, but he just didn't get assistance again.
Yeah.
The Kuno's
follow-up there.
gaming, man. The
Kuno's gaming. Yeah, the Kuno's gaming.
Okay, Dracania just trying to stay alive. This Dracania just
Doing
needs
his
to dish
iframes.
out some insane
Ah,
damage
got
right now.
grabbed
Gets
there.
grabbed. That's just
Insta-died, so
unfortunate.
it's,
And the Kuno goes down to the
just-
field.
Yeah. But
Wow.
we saw this here again, like the Kuno definitely did well. Got
Yes.
the CCs, but no follow-ups there.
The
I think
Kuno
that
was on
three
point.
times, yeah.
It's just there was no assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe this Dracania is more used to running into Cap Siege
And
and picking up
one-shotting.
10 pieces, one-shotting everybody.
Yeah.
But in these 3v3
Yeah,
rounds, it's not like
maybe.
you can just dash in and get kills. You have to wait for your team to make opportunities for you, because as a Dracania yourself, you are rarely going to catch someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really have to wait for that Kuno to go in, or maybe for that Mystic to get a grab, and then go in on top of that. But what we saw from this Dracania is that they were just going in alone, casting a bunch of skills, and then having to get out, get PA or whatever, and then just get grabbed.
Get grabbed instantly. Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the Mystic wasn't even in the fights at all. It felt like to be honest, it felt like a 2v3.
I mean, it was.
It felt like a
It was.
2v3 for the majority of the match. You know what I mean? It's just like, what do you do with? It's kind of an int.
For sure. And again, like with a team like what Cheers Brother is running,
Yeah.
it's your most bread and butter team. It has tools for everything. It has an option for basically everything.
Yeah.
And
And
this
so
team, this
for
team,
and so for Kevin's Mandem to be running a very different team with the Dracania and the Kuno, which are classes that we definitely see in this tournament, but maybe not together, or maybe not, like, they're kind of missing that bread and butter class. They have the Mystic, they still have a Gauntlet, but like they're missing something like a Warrior. They're missing something like a Awakened Berserker.
Yeah.
They're missing like additional options. They're all kind of tunnel visioned into the Kuno has to make plays and then we have to follow up on it. And if the Kuno's making plays and they're not following up on it,
yeah,
it doesn't work out.
doesn't work
If
out.
the Kuno can't make plays, it also doesn't work out. So I think in this sense, main versus main, obviously very skilled players.
Yeah.
It really sort of came down to a lot of team matchup
Yeah, team composition.
and coordination. Because of course, Cheers Brother, they know each other.
They know
Yeah.
each other really well.
they have more
It's-
experience playing with each other as well.
It is
so
really hard to fight this team. Really hard. We will see this probably today more, that
Yeah.
people will struggle against this team because they are They won all of our tournaments.
Yeah, I
so
mean, I
far.
think that they're definitely a favorite to win this tournament as well.
Absolutely. Okay.
So with that, let's take a look at how our brackets shifted with that win. Once again, congratulations, cheers, brother. Moving on to the quarterfinals, they will face off against Luck Plus 3. But before we do that, we still have 2 matches to get into. The next one is going to be Good Morning Club versus La Parka, which is going to be a very interesting match, in my opinion, having Plebs versus La Parka.
Plebs versus La Parka, this is right, yeah.
So
Two siege guilds.
Yes, 2 siege guilds. So let's take a look at these team matchups and then talk a little bit about what we see. So we have Grim on the Striker, Slim on the Berserker, and Meow Meow on the Witch, versus on the La Parka side, Seven Deadly Sins on the Lawn, Kirito on the Nova, and Jormungand. I think
yeah.
that's like a mythical creature, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay, Jormungand on the Striker. So very interesting teams here as well. We have more of a bread and butter from Good Morning Club versus La Parka is pulling out some classes that we don't always see. I think this Nova is going to be very interesting to watch, as well as the Lawn.
I'm curious to see if this is Slim Awakening or is he
Slim is an Awakening. I mean, he plays, from what I know, he plays Awakening, but
Okay.
I mean, a lot of Zerkers is only you trying out Suck lately, so maybe he's actually playing Suck. I can't.
Okay. I'm curious to see how this fight is going to go because they do have a Lawn and they do have a Nova.
Yeah, this is an interesting team from La Parka with the
Yeah.
Lan and the Nova.
I've never
Agree.
seen that combo before. Like, I've never seen like a Lawn and a Nova. So you got the Lawn for like really like aggressive flank plays, like very ratty play style. And then you have the Nova just kind
It's
of
like a huge presence.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
Just
I
kinda
mean,
being
it's
like,
probably Awakening, right? So Succession Nova.
I mean,
This-
We don't know for certain.
We don't know
at
for
this
certain.
point,
We're
but
gonna find out,
most
yeah.
likely, I think with this gear bracket, definitely.
you think Awakening?
I think it's probably Awakening.
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I hope so.
Well,
It's
we'll
always
be
more
able
fun.
to take a look at exactly what it is in this first round. Let's go ahead and get into that.
So
Good
gates
morning,
are open.
club.
Good morning,
What a
club.
good name.
So it is an Awakening Nova. We see
Okay,
the
this is going to be a
Oh,
better
wow.
fight for
yeah,
them.
100%. We saw the instant knockdown there already from the Spiral.
Not going to be able to V that.
Yeah.
Zerker's going to insta-die because of
Zerker died
that.
already, yeah.
Striker's taking a lot of damage, but sees the damage, trying to disengage, goes for a re-engage, taking still so much damage, and he just keeps going back in.
The Lan just needs to land like one clean grab. And there, CC. He's
Ooh,
tanky. Look at
Okay,
that.
that is pretty nuts. He's just absorbing the
damage.
damage.
He's tanky, yeah.
They're
But
leaving
he
the
died
caster
there.
just free cast. Okay. Okay,
And
there
then
goes the
there
grab.
goes the grab,
What
yeah.
a grab.
So
Oh
to be
my
honest,
God.
they left the caster free casting most of the time, but it still didn't really.
It didn't
work
really.
out.
Yeah, it didn't really help them.
Against the Lan that is constantly iframing and flying around, and the Awakening Nova super fast. It's probably also hard as a
A
forecaster.
Succession Witch.
It's
I've
a
never,
Suck Witch, yeah.
I have never
Succession Witch.
seen that on NA. Like, who plays Succession Witch on NA?
We have some
Whoa,
few
okay.
Succession Witches actually playing the class also really
Interesting.
well. Yeah.
Different.
Very
It's like a
interesting stuff.
different, different matchups, different team
Yeah.
matchups.
Mhm.
We see an Awakening Nova. Haven't seen that, right? I haven't seen that with the
Yeah,
the
that's
pair up with the Lawn. I've
Yeah.
never seen that before. Like that's
And then with the
a
Witch as
success-
well.
Yeah, and a Succession Witch. Very different playstyles.
The 100,
for sure,
yeah, definitely. I'm surprised, but I'm happy to see more. Can't
Absolutely.
wait.
Yeah, I think especially in this first round, it was pretty unfortunate. We saw both Grim and Slim go down Novies.
Yeah.
So they maybe just need to be a little bit more careful with how
And
they're playing.
I think the Zerker couldn't V. He was
Mm.
He was Spyro Cannon,
Yeah,
he was KD,
But the thing
so
is, he was holding his V, and I think that's where the problem lies. Because the initial CC wasn't a KD, right?
Right,
He could
right,
have immediately V'd that. But I think he was trying to be like...
maybe
more-
I survived that.
Yeah,
And
he's like, maybe I'm going
holding
to
it,
survive this, and I can save my V for later.
But then got the
he needs to
re-CC,
be
and then he
very,
can't.
yeah, exactly. So like, if you don't think you're going to survive, like even if there's a chance that you can't survive,
Mhm.
you V
Yeah,
immediately.
you have to.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, let's see if they can use their resources a little bit better in round 2.
All right, right back
right
into the
back
action.
into the action here.
All right, looks like Striker
so
on
Nova
the aggression.
nearly dead already. Zerker,
So much
Nova
damage
dead.
coming
Nova's
from the
dead.
clones.
We saw this yesterday with the draw. The clones is super strong.
The striker is taking so much damage.
Lelan is nearly down. There's a 2v3 already. So the Mystic and the Lana have to play super careful. With the caster in their deck, it will be hard.
It's looking like a pretty healthy round for Good right now.
Yeah.
Laparca
They
now
did
looking
well
too good,
better.
and
They
there we
did
go.
well
Okay, so a little bit of a turnaround, 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
You know what it is? So remember how you said leaving the caster free cast like that? Now you can see the caster's actually making a difference.
Exactly.
Immediately.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you leave that caster alone for too long, and you start to see the support. You start to see the damage. You just start to see the range
slows.
pressure. Absolutely. So that's why I think Laparca just has to be on that caster. They have to be on
For
that caster.
certain. Yeah,
Especially
and
maybe
it
the
was
Lan.
very unfortunate for them having the Lan go down first,
Yeah.
because then that pretty much frees up the Succession Witch to
Yeah,
just
for sure.
go do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So potentially play a bit safer on that lawn, but you still have to pressure the Witch.
Yes.
Still have to make sure that they can't just free cast. But maybe once that lawn manages to get a catch, then they can collapse onto the Witch, take them out, and then they have a lot more free range to just do whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm curious to see how the Succession Witch will survive, because they're not going to let that happen again.
Yeah.
Surely they don't
Surely.
let that
Surely.
happen.
Yeah, let's
Surely
see
they
if
don't
they
let that
can
happen
change
again.
up the strategy a little bit and make sure that Witch is dead in round 3.
Right, gates are going up.
Okay, Striker always going to be the aggressor.
Really aggressive here. Like, going for this early spiral
Always.
KD, but it didn't work out this time. It worked out in the first round on Slim.
No, it definitely worked.
Yeah.
Look at the zoning he did with the spiral and the aggression.
But
He-
you see the Mystic's already dead there.
Yeah.
And the Lan as well.
Awakening Nova is just trying to disengage right now, trying to get some of the health back. Sees the Strikers by himself, immediately starts getting assistance from his
It's
teammates, and
not
that's
much
just,
you can do. You have
He-
a free casting cast on the back line. You have a Zerker.
yeah. That Lawn
it's
needs to stay alive and not stay
Yeah.
inside of the stack. Yeah,
That
immediately
was
caught by the caster.
Not
What
much
a
you
good
can
catch.
do.
I mean, it is what it is. It's like
They
we
turned
said.
it around.
They are turning it around,
Yeah.
but it's the other team has to realize that the caster's getting too much free space.
Yeah.
Like, we can only stress this so much. A caster, there's a reason why it's such a good class for 3v3 small scale, is because it applies buffs, debuffs, range CC pressure, right? Slows, heals. It's an all-around good class, and
Yeah.
you need to make sure that it can't play the game.
Exactly.
You have
I
to
think
be on it.
one of the problems that this lawn is probably having is they have potentially 2 targets that they have to go after, right? They have to pressure the Witch to make sure that the Witch can't free cast. They also probably have to potentially put some pressure on the Zerker because they're playing Awaken. Now,
is
it's
true.
very
He
difficult
can
for
also
them
just
to do
range-
that.
range
It's very
CC.
difficult for them to put any pressure on the Zerker, and I think that that's what we're seeing is since round 1, they've allowed the other team to just separate the Zerker and the Witch, and if you go after one, then the other one's just going to cast on you. They're finding it very difficult for this Awakened Nova and this Awakened Striker to go in because they're getting pressured from range so effectively.
Well, that's the thing, though. They're focusing too much on trying to go in, and they should just let the lawn do the lawn's thing. You know what I mean? The lawn has to start going for, like I said, the more the Ratty plays, the Nova and the Striker actually have to stick together. It's an Awakening Nova.
Yeah.
Awakening Nova has so much utility. You have the vacuums.
The
You know what I
vacuums,
mean?
yeah, they're
Play
huge.
around your vacuums. Play around the environment. You have the pillars in the arena. You can kind of bait them into a scenario that might be in your advantage, right? Yes, you have an Awakened Berserker. Yes, he's going to have the long range, but it's an Awakening Nova. You know what I mean? You have that burst speed.
That's
you
true.
could
Yeah.
catch that Zerker, right? Not to even mention, but like when he goes into Titan Blow, it is just a forward guard.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
also not cancelable, right? I think you can punish it like instantly.
You could punish it, especially as an Awakening Nova.
Yeah, 100.
Well, let's see if they can make the change in round 4. Let's go ahead and get into that.
Right, gates are up.
Alright,
Being a
already
bit
seeing
more
some Titan
careful.
Blows from the Berserker. Striker going immediately in.
And trying to get this
instantly
early
CC'd.
But it's
He's taking
super
so much
low.
damage.
He's taking a lot of damage. Needs to be careful and go out there.
He goes for the plays because he just wants to keep killing the
The
Mystic.
Mystic's already
Yeah,
dead. The
Mystic
Lan
is
also
already dead.
died.
Lan goes down.
1v3 Nova again. We see a Nova wall here, but this will just save you for 5 seconds. Then it's over.
Oh, this is just... See, like the way he's able to catch, he's able to speed up to the Zerker. Like that's what he should be doing, but it's not even his fault. His teammates were just...
Yeah.
not there, unfortunately.
Even as for Nova these days, it's really hard to 1v3 a team like that.
Good Morning Club taking the victory on
Yes,
really
Laparca.
well played,
congratulations to Good Morning Club. Definitely some very good stuff. I think Laparca was just finding it difficult to prioritize a target or to play around their structures properly, and they ended up just kind of getting dove on eventually. Once that lawn went down, they couldn't really apply pressure to the caster, and then from there it's just sort of fallen apart. But congratulations to Good Morning Club. They will be moving on into the quarterfinals. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this changes the bracket.
I'm seeing a lot of different
Okay,
teams.
so looks
Different
like,
teams, right? Yeah.
again, we had Good Morning Club moving up. Congratulations to you guys going against Slade Squad in the quarterfinals. And unfortunately, Dark Triad had to default their match, so Weed and Stuff will automatically be going into the quarterfinals as well.
Okay.
So that concludes
okay.
our round of 8A, and we will go directly into the quarterfinals, starting with Season Heskey versus, who are they facing?
Team Savage.
Team
Ah,
Savage.
yes,
Yeah,
Team
they're fighting
Savage.
Team Savage.
And yes, here's how the rest of our bracket will look. So Season Heskey versus Team Savage will be the first match that we have in the quarterfinals. Let's take a look at these team matchups.
Oh, this is going to be a
This will
good
also be
fight.
a really, really good fight, yeah.
Okay.
So once again, we have Season Heskey, kind of our favorites to win the tournament with, sorry, we haven't seen them yet.
No,
No.
we haven't seen
No,
them yet.
it's
No,
Team
no, no.
Savage. Sorry,
it's the
Team
opposite.
Savage is the one that. Yeah. So Season Heskey, also a very, very strong team. This is our Boz Deep team with Viol on the Warrior, Cavalli on the Mystic, and Overload on the Sork.
Overload is that's going to be a good Stork.
Yes.
I want to see how he plays.
And then
compared
on the
to
Team
others.
Savage side, we have Zeros on the Musa, Dzanovic on the Sork, and Muhammad Ali on the Berserker.
So with Season Heskey, we are pretty much the team that also were like at the airway fighting out the main team. And I'm super excited for that matchup to see them. It's also they have a Warrior, a Mystic, and a Sork. So the main team from the other team has a Warrior, Striker, and a Sork. So it's pretty much
Mystic to Striker. I see.
it is it will be really nice to see if they win against Team Savage.
Yeah, but what you
Obviously-
don't get, right? What you don't understand is Team Savage. They have a
They have a
Musa.
Musa, yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
they got a
of course
Musa.
you
The
say that.
only
They have a
Musa,
Musa.
right? The only Musa that I've seen in tournaments so far. So I'm banking on the Musa's got to really be attentive. He can't mix up his role, right? Muhammad Ali isn't an awakening berserker.
It sucks.
It's a succession berserker, but he's still the playmaker, right?
You have to be careful against that. This team is really skilled, like extraordinarily skilled.
Right.
Violi is extremely good on this Warrior. The same like Chief, aka Cavalli, probably one of
Yeah,
the
but
best Mystics.
that's where the
and
Musa
Overlord.
comes in, man. The Musa makes it so irregular isn't having fun, right? The Musa is going to be on a regular and making sure a regular doesn't leave block. That's what I would do, right? I would make sure the Warrior doesn't leave block. I would make it so he can't play and have fun. I would keep him super oppressed with my protected damage because, you know, Musa's an SA trading class, right?
Still, you get slowed from the Warrior. He can grab
But
you
I'm
with your
slowing
Mesa.
him as well.
Yeah, but with what? 50% movement speed?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So he can't grab me.
I mean, technically, he can still.
I
if you're getting
mean-
too close.
Listen, I'm not getting grabbed in that scenario. I'm curious to see how he plays it off. He can't do the same mistake he did before, which was go into something very risky like Crust Crusher and then foul play because
Yeah,
he
that
will
will be
get
risky.
pressured. He will
Yeah.
get pressured by the Mystic and he will get pressured by
But
the
the
Warrior.
Sork and the Sork.
And yeah, the Sork can definitely.
I mean, for the Sork, it's the easiest thing to punish the cross.
oh yeah, absolutely, because they can move around very quickly.
Yeah.
It's very. This is gonna be a good match.
It's going to be very interesting. You know, Season Heskey, again, running one of these very sort of default teams. We've seen a lot of this in AOAs
Yeah.
with this sort of class spread. Meanwhile, as we said before, Savage is running something that's very different. They're very
Yep.
spread out, and they do have that Succession Berserker who's going to be running around. They have the Musa that's going to be running around. And then they have the Sork that can just kind of dance around on her own. So, again, I think we kind of saw this again in Team Savage's first fight where it was just bald team, like a team
Versus
that's all
a
balled
scattered
up
team.
versus
Versus
a
a scattered
scattered
team.
team.
I like
and
that.
that's
I like
exactly
it.
what we're going
Yeah,
to
I
be
like
seeing,
that.
I think, in this round as well. So I'm wondering I'm wondering how Heskey is going to try and approach this.
I don't think Heskey's going to be playing as balled up as you think. I think they're
That's
going to be
fair.
scattered as well because you're going to have the Mystic. I think he's going to be the aggressor, and I think the Warrior, based off of most of the Warriors I've been seeing so far, well, I mean, GTL is you see GTL. He's passive, but when he needs to be aggressive, he's aggressive.
Yeah.
Right. So if a regular does have that same playstyle, they will probably mimic the scatteredness of Team Savage.
For sure. And maybe just have that warrior just wait.
Yes.
Just waiting,
for the
especially for
shot
like the Zerg
opportunity,
dive
but-
specifically, can apply slow there, or just anyone else that's diving.
Yeah.
With the Musa, as you guys were saying, then the warrior can kind of go and then reapply slow
He's got to be
again.
counterplay. That's what he has to play.
Exactly.
He has to play counterplay.
What is going to be interesting, I think, is like with the Musa Sork Zerg team versus the Warrior Mystic Sork team, the on the side of Season Heskey, they definitely have more like grabs to play with.
Yes.
So with the Musa dancing around and then with the Zerk dancing around, it's pretty hard to catch Zerk with a grab, but if he's slowed, they're going to have more option to
Right.
do that.
It's
Right.
still
And
a
then again-
succession Zerker, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then again, with the Musa running around, like, if he gets caught and then grabbed, then it's kind of game over.
Comes down
It's
to all
game over, yeah.
positioning. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to all positioning for the Berserker and the Musa. So
For the
let's see how
Musa,
they
the
play.
slows are way worse though.
For
than
sure.
For the Zerker.
For sure. Well, let's see how these teams decide to play this in round 1.
All right, looks like they're gathering.
The gates are up.
Okay. Warrior
Instantly
already
V.
tosses his V. I guess that's kind of a
That's-
statement he's trying to make, that I don't need my V. All right. Interesting play from the Warrior.
I don't know what he was trying to do
I
there.
think he was
Maybe-
trying to test to see if it worked.
I think someone's actually behind the gate.
Okay. Okay.
no.
Damn. Someone's losing to the gate already.
Yeah,
All right.
someone's
Interesting.
behind the gate. So it's a 2v3 already.
All right. This is not turning out what I was not expecting. This.
No, I was
Let's just say I
that
was
was
not
weird.
expecting this.
Like instant V behind the gate one.
And Moose's got this. He probably told his team, okay, never mind. He's doing very unprotected stuff, taking unnecessary damage for no reason. Good slow. Okay, very random shout there, very unprotected. He just needs to disengage and get some health back, and he's dead. Okay.
You can't really flee from them in this scenario, man. The Mystic
He's a
and the
Musa.
Warrior. Yes, still the Warrior can.
He already lost his Berserker,
no.
and
They're
his
just
Sword
waiting.
teammate is behind the wall.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that from the start was kind of.
Yeah, that's. And he's dead.
Well, the Sork's just still
The
behind the
Sork's still
wall.
alive.
They're just waiting the timer, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because
I
I mean, this is what we're going to be seeing for the next minute and a half. Is just
Oh no.
Sork stuck behind a wall.
Oh, no.
So okay, maybe we should say, because we had this yesterday. Everyone needs to leave the gate. Like, make
Yes.
sure to not be AFK on your
don't
match.
be AFK. Don't
Like-
be accidentally watching the official stream and forget to
Yeah,
play
don't
your
pull
match.
a live from the toilet.
No,
Exactly.
I
yeah.
Don't
wasn't
do
going to call him
stuff
out
like that.
specifically,
Yeah.
but you had to.
So
Oh, man.
it's definitely your fault if you're stuck in the, like, if you don't go outside the gate. So just to mention that, please guys go outside the gate.
They're doing this on purpose. So they're making sure that Lami,
They're making sure that
right,
there's no way that
the Sork
some
will ever do
random
this
upset
again.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, you're going to sit in there and you're going to think about what you did.
They're punishing him.
I mean,
they're punishing him. Oh, this is nice. I mean, at least we get to see some of the aesthetics of their classes, right?
The
We get to see
outfits?
the warrior with the.
You know, I was looking at in the first round. I was looking. Oh, hey, it's me.
how are
Oh,
you
that's
there?
you. How are you there?
Again,
How
again.
did you there?
I was
Again.
gonna say in the first round, I was looking at some of the aesthetics that the Team Savage was bringing, and I kind of like the Musa fit. I don't know if you saw it, but he's all dressed up. He's got the formal attire.
Oh,
on.
really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean
Oh,
like the one for processing and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
one-
okay,
so-
interesting. All right.
Well, a very unfortunate first round going to our Season Heskey won that, correct?
Yes, Season
yes.
Heskey.
So Season Heskey kind of fighting a 2v3 and then just waiting out the rest of the
The
round.
Sork was fighting his inner demon.
The Sork
gate.
was fighting
Yeah.
the gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't able to make it out. Very unfortunate. And too bad that they didn't just go up and kill him and reset the round. But again, some time to reflect on what he did.
Absolutely.
And
I think
definitely
it
won't
doesn't
make
hurt.
that mistake again.
Yes, for sure.
Hopefully we see him some more action now in the second round.
Mm-hmm. I do believe we have round 2 ready to go, so let's see if we can actually get a nice fight in
Yes.
round
Yeah.
2.
All players making it out of the gate this time, for sure.
All right, gates are open.
There we go.
Hopefully everyone's out.
Oh, let's
This
go.
time everyone is out. Let's go. Okay, Slime. Let's see how Musa's doing.
Okay, Sork already getting CC'd. No follow-up
Uh,
CC from the other team.
Oh,
already
he's
taking
eating a lot
super-
of damage there.
He's getting... And he still wants to contest. Interesting, all right?
The Moose had to V there already. I think
Yeah,
he was
Moose
just
has already
recovering
burned his V.
from a V.
All right, that's a big CC, and that will be a KD. So
Oh,
Vio is not going to be able
Violi
to.
is
Yeah,
dead,
he won't be able to. He's done for that.
So not bad. It's a 2v3, but they need to be careful with Overlord
The
and
Berserker,
Cavalli.
the Berserker has to. No.
You see the Musa gets CC'd there from Chip. Like
It's
he's
because
dead.
the Moose is trying. He's CCing, like I said. He's trying to go into unprotected CCs, but that's not his play, right? His play is the Berserker. That's who's his play. His playmaker is the Berserker.
Yeah, and we
They
see
end
the
up
Soak
losing the
going
sword.
giant Soak score. Like even in a 2v3 scenario against those two players, you have to be really careful.
And
You can't overcommit.
the Berserker.
And the Berserker's down. Ah, yeah, to
Ooh,
V.
Ooh,
Okay.
manages to get the V.
Good reaction. I mean, he had 8% health.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably can run now around.
He's got
for like
the
2
mobility
minutes.
to
He got
run,
the-
but we'll
I mean-
see if he can manage to make something happen.
I remember.
Okay, what a big heal
Yeah.
coming from the Berserker. Tries to gets a slow off.
Oh,
and-
and instantly got CC.
He tried to go for a CC there after the
Yeah.
Zerg changes. It is a forward guard, so
So okay.
And especially since he was super slowed, can't really come from a very unpredictable angle
Yeah,
after
no.
that run. They knew exactly where he was as soon as he went into it, just tossed out a CC.
very
Really
telegraphed.
unfortunate
The
stuff
Musa man, he let me down.
there. He let you down?
He went
Yeah.
for projection, point blank melee.
Yeah,
Why
against
would
the,
you
against
do
the
that?
Mystic. Against the Mystic.
Why would you do that?
Yeah,
you
you should
don't.
not do that,
You just
no.
don't do that. But maybe they change it up this time because the Sork was present for that fight,
Yeah.
right? It's unfortunate that they lost a round to that.
Yeah.
But if they come back stronger because of the fights they've been losing, right? The Sork just needs to stay alive, avoid too much chip damage, right?
I
kind
did
of-
see actually in that round, the Sork took a ton of damage from the
Yes. Yeah.
opposing
Yes.
Sork's crows.
Yes.
Just walked right into it and took it. They need to make sure that they're positioning around that opponent Sork
needs
as
to
well as
dance
the rest
more.
of the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they got the Warrior though. They did a
Yes.
good job with the Warrior, but they need to be more careful if they're two.
Well, it's
in a
because the
2v3.
Musa was doing exactly what he should have been doing, which was
With-
like confirming,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Confirm the kill. He's got to be there to confirm the kill. That's why the Musa has to kind of stay alive and not do unprotected stuff. And just-
Especially not against Mystic.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to hopefully see if Savage can bring something back. Obviously, a very unfortunate first round for them.
That's going to hurt them.
And it definitely hurts their chances because now they're having to be in a comeback position at all times. But we do have round 3 ready to go. Let's see if they can make something happen.
Alright, gates are up.
Team Savage, can they turn this around? The Musa curse. See, Armin says the ninja curse, but it is actually
Is the
Musa
Musa curse?
All right, you have Sork dancing. Overload looking for some CCs, looking for some damage.
Had to
Tossing a
proc some
Crows, that's
Vs
very
there
good zoning from the Sork.
already. Yep.
2 Vs already down. On Heskey
We
and on
we
Savage.
saw something unprotected there.
Big
like you said.
catch. Lammy looking still very healthy. Trying to contest. Yeah, ends up getting the catch.
Violi E-buff there. Warrior E-buff really dangerous.
DOD not going to be able to catch anything. Oh my, and that's
wow,
the damage
that's
we're
the
talking
damage,
about.
yeah.
He got absolutely incinerated, and Heskey is taking the win.
Yeah.
Oh
They
my
win.
God.
I mean, they
They
got the
played
free
well.
first round,
They
but
did get the
very,
free-
very,
yeah, they did get
very,
the
very
free,
good
yeah.
stuff in those next 2 rounds.
But I mean, they couldn't turn it around. Team Savage, you could have turned it around after that. The minute the gate got in the way and interfered. Yes, it's a bummer. Probably kind of let down on a couple of comms. They're probably like a little nervous for that, which is fine, right? But the fact that they just stacked instead of playing more passive, knowing that it was their last round, and play more like concentrated. I get the nerves are getting to you, right? But it's your last round, right? You got to give it your all. And I mean, they played really well. They, good fights. It was good to see the matchup with Musa, Sork, and Berserker.
yeah, for sure.
They didn't really play the split like you said. I mean,
they
played
weren't playing
well
it as
together.
split as I thought they would.
yeah. I mean, the Sork was just getting absolutely deleted. I was expecting more of a dancing with the iframes, but he went into an SA and then he was no longer there. He was gone.
For sure.
For a split second. For literally a split second. I guess
I-
that's just the TUVALA gear.
I also think that you saw the season Heskey how well they play together.
Absolutely,
You could
yeah.
definitely see this.
Very
like that
synergy. Like,
their
there's a lot of
timing
synergy.
for like Crows, for example, from Overlord,
Yeah.
it was on point. The damage, how they when they were stacked up, like you saw that in the end, they just instantly deleted the whole team pretty
Yep.
much. So I'm really excited to see more of that in the field, like in the other matches.
Yeah, so congratulations to Heskey. They will be moving on into the semifinals, and Savage unfortunately knocked out in this quarterfinals. But before we get into the next match, we do have a short video to show. Some of you have seen the new Dracania Awakening. We are going to be showing that again right here. Dracania Awakening coming on the 27th. Let's take a look at that. Welcome back. The Dragon's Wings unfurl on the 27th. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, Dragon Mommy, I'm tagging it. I think I'm
Definitely.
I'm
You're
tag it.
gonna
Of
tag
course,
it?
you had the
Yeah,
brand
so I
Dragon
can,
Mommy.
no, it's not for the gameplay because I'm not a meta chaser, right? But it's
Uh-huh.
for the RP clips, maybe some screenshots. Well,
Sure, for the screenshot.
I definitely want to try out that dash. That dash looks insane. Like
It
For
looks
sure.
really good,
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks really, really cool.
like fast, bursty, and no fall animation. Okay, Lawn 2.0.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to showing everybody what we have in store with Dracania Awakening and letting you guys play that class on the 27th for both PC and console.
Can't wait.
But this stream is not about Dracania Awakening specifically, it's about the TUVALA Cup, so let's go ahead and get back into it. Let's take a look at our brackets. So we had Season Heskey taking the win there and moving up into the semifinals. Now we are going to have Cheers Brother versus Luck Plus 3.
I don't know if we can, because you know we're taking the shots off screen, right? I don't know if I can
Oh
handle
my
another
God.
Cheers Brother winning
Yes.
again, because we're gonna cheers again if they win.
Cheers,
man.
yeah. But,
Splice, come on.
Well, we haven't seen Luck Plus 3 play yet, so I'm very interested to see how they fare against Cheers Brother. Let's take a look at the team matchups. So, on the Cheers Brother side, of course, we have our tried and true GTL God, sorry, and Pinda on the Warrior, Sork, and Striker. And then on the Luck Plus 3 side, we have a Sage, Fixed Fox on the Sage.
A Sage?
Sage, yes. I think this is
Neelix
first
on
one.
that Warrior, and Lannister on the Kuno.
So Luck 3 is definitely also a plebs team, so it's a siege guild. Like we have one player that's not like in a guild, but I think that's just temporarily. I think he is actually in plebs. But what do you think, Sly? Like a Sage and the Kuno?
I mean, it is an Awakening Sage, but with the Kuno, I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I think this is going to be still a tough fight for them because, like, it goes back to the experience thing, right? You have GTL, Splice, and Pinda. Well, GTL and Pinda literally have synergy. They've played, like you said, so much together, so they know what to expect and how to play off of each other. Whereas we're not too sure with Luck Plus 3. We don't know how much experience they have playing like alongside each other. The comp, I mean, it's tough to say. You got the Awakening Sage that can kind of like mirror match what the Sork is going to do, right? But then you have the Kuno that's kind of just like, you know, wild card here. Like it is a Succession Kuno.
I mean, we assume it's Succession Kuno.
Well, I mean, we can only assume that it's a Succession Kuno. And then like after the nurse, I'm curious to see how
maybe it's actually Awakening. After we saw Awakening Kuno like Zoo that super.
Which I mean, if it is an Awakening Kuno, it would be better for a fight like that.
It would be better
because
you saw the CC capabilities of the Kuno. It was really good. Just the follow-ups were
never any follow-ups, but with the Sage,
with Awakening
with an Awakening Sage,
work.
there will be some follow-ups if we can see those catches. So
for sure. Definitely going to come down to, again, that Kuno, if they are able to make something happen.
Yeah.
And let's see if they are in round 1.
All right, cheers, brothers. The more they win,
you keep saying it.
Yeah.
Keep having a drink.
The more they win, man.
I think it's Succession good. Looks like Suck. It's Succession.
Yeah, it's going to be Succession. He's going to be having to play with this stamina management. Already a big amount of damage. Pinda already having the V.
Ooh,
you can already see the damage coming from the Awakening Sage. All right, that is huge. GTL taking a lot of damage, already having to be across the other side of the map.
He also successfully landed a grab, though. He also pulled one.
Okay, big grab coming from GTL. Really huge grab. He's going to be looking for the sniff.
The Kuno and the Warrior already dead. It's 1v3.
Oh my god.
I didn't even see like.
And that's gone. Just unfortunate. I think they're taking the first round.
I think they just got like instantly annihilated.
Yeah, I didn't
so fast.
Yeah, I didn't get to see what happened. We were like focused. I was so focused onto the V. You know what I mean? I was like, GTL was sniffing for it, looking for that solar flare catch, and
meanwhile his other two teammates
just
go down.
Yeah, it was just like, what is happening? Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it's really rough to try and run into this this main team because, again, they're so experienced and they're running the bread and butter.
Yeah.
So it's, again, like the ball is really in the other team's court to try and make something happen.
Yeah.
Because the main team can basically just sit there and not necessarily wait, but they don't necessarily need to do a lot of initiating.
Right.
When the Kuno really has to make stuff happen. So they can just kind of wait for it, wait for the engage, follow up, get some kills, take some Vs, and then from there, the enemy team is already on the back foot as they're split, as people are in V, as people are dead, and they can just take the fight to whoever they want.
Especially since after the Kuno nerfs, like especially with Succession, it's way more predictable. You can't just spam it every 6 seconds. So again, you need to watch your stamina. So if they just sit back and wait for the Kuno to do something, they still can predict it really well. Especially since everyone played Suck and everyone knows what they're doing. So I kind of hope that she will play Awakening, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's kind of still the same playstyle, still the same like ability to catch and go for the like ratty plays, right? but it's more, it's
not as oppressive as Sukuno used to be.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
not nowhere near.
No,
Nowhere-
absolutely. But that's why I think Awakening would have been a better spec.
For the CC purpose,
Yeah.
100%. You have like the donut skill that you can throw out, like that pierces frontal guard,
Yeah.
knockdown, super good.
I think that's what
You
was
have-
catching. That was
that-
actually what
yeah,
was
that was
catching GTL earlier.
You have
a
a
lot.
core, you have
Yeah.
access to a core skill, so protected CC as well.
Yep.
And a lot of people also don't know Awakening Kunos these days. So I think for this fight, it would actually be better to pick the Awakening.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. But they did manage to get the V off of GTL right off the bat.
Yeah.
They did get GTL and they did get Pinda's Vs.
Right.
So if they could just follow up after their Vs and just make sure that once they come out of their V, they're already have pressure on them immediately, I think that's how they get some rounds.
For sure. Well, let's see if they can make the comeback in round 2. Let's take a look.
Gates are open.
Yes. Notice how there's no, the little bell ding ding for
Yeah.
coming from the Warrior. All right, already
Ding,
a
ding.
catch on GTL,
Oh.
immediately having to V. Pinda also having to V somewhere on the map.
They
Already
take
has
a
the
lot
buff.
of damage, but
See,
they
like,
they
there's no
killed,
pressure.
They
There's no-
killed the Kuno already.
Yeah.
Like the Kuno is definitely not as oppressive anymore. If you're not careful with the stamina, you just die.
They're so split up, and then
Oh,
the
it got
Warriors
in
good
really
catch.
nice CC
GTL,
there.
that was very impressive.
That was really nice, and that was really good. Play.
That was
That was
wow.
sick. That was
Okay,
sick.
yeah,
that
he
was sick.
definitely outplayed the Warrior there.
But super hard,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
insanely hard.
But
that was really
why
good.
are they so split though? You see what I'm saying? Like you saw the Awakening Sage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing he had to V, or he was just on the other side of the map. Meanwhile,
Right.
the Warrior was being challenged by GTL, right? The other Warrior, and I mean he was getting outplayed. He was
Yeah.
getting danced on, like broken ankles and stuff like that. But I don't understand this. The Kuno I think is playing too aggressive because the Kuno needs to stay alive.
Yeah.
Right. I know it has to go for those plays, but it's very risky now. Like especially now after
Yeah.
the Suck Kuno changes. But I mean, the rest of his team is doing really good for catching the CCs, but they just don't ever pressure the V. They see GTL go down, right? They see him V, go off to the side, okay, but now they're focusing too much on trying to go for the 2v3.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not going to really always work out in their favor.
Because if you can
Yeah.
catch the V,
It's free.
it's
game
basically
over,
just a free
yeah.
kill.
It's a free kill.
Yeah.
So they have to make sure they pressure the V immediately. And they had 2 Vs that round.
Yeah.
They had Pinda and GTL. And those are like kind of their
and then they kind of
playmakers.
tunnel visioned on the last player,
Exactly.
let those guys
Yeah.
just go off wherever they wanted.
And then they got backlined.
But we definitely also they had the Kuno way too aggressive at the start.
Yeah.
Like she died super fast, and I
Yeah.
think most Kuno's players are still used to playing like before the nerfs. So
But it's gonna have to change. Their playstyle will have to change for this next
Yeah.
round. So this
they have to do something.
I mean, they have
For
if
sure.
they change it up, I can definitely see them winning rounds because they are getting the CCs, they are getting the first Vs. So the potential's there.
Yep. So let's see if they can hopefully make something out of these catches. Luck +3, maybe on their last tournament round. Let's
Not
see
so
if they
lucky.
can make not so lucky.
Not
Let's
so
see if
lucky.
they can make something happen in round 3.
Ding ding ding. There was a ding ding.
All right, it
Right.
looks like Pinda is going to be aggressive with GTL, looking for a
Trying
spiral,
to-
not able to catch anything, taking a lot of damage in the center, but
Wow.
Ooh,
able to get a
down.
double kill on Luck.
Instantly died. Like
Oh my
this.
god.
The Sage in the 1v3
Blitzfox.
scenario, not
It-
really what you can't really
This
do
is going to
anything.
be hard for him.
No,
yeah,
he
and
got
then
CC'd there. He has still his V, but there's not much he can
They
do.
will be hunting for his V. This is going to be an
Yeah.
immediate
Oh, phase
catch.
grabs him.
Actually grabbed him by his forehead, and Cheers Brothers will be your winners.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Cheers
Congrats.
Brothers moving up into the semifinals, and Luck +3. Unfortunately, +3 was not enough.
No, plus
No.
Maybe
definitely
get to
not
+5
Yes.
and then come back to us. But yeah, I mean, it was really, really difficult for this Kuno to like. Well, sorry, it was very difficult for the team to follow up on anything the Kuno was doing.
enough. Right.
And more often than not, like the Sage was playing these off angles that could have worked
Right.
if they followed up.
Yeah.
However, as we saw like in the third round, I think he was a little bit too detached from
Yes.
the fight, and therefore both of his teammates go down, and then he's just stuck.
It's an unfortunate outcome, but like he's got to play more close. yes, he can be on the outskirts, but not that far.
Yeah.
Right? Because he was way too far to even assist the Warrior when the Warrior was getting danced on.
And you saw both that Kakunu and the Warrior, they died instantly together again.
It was a double kill.
It was a double kill.
They died at the same time.
Even if they are super close, they need to be super careful in this. So
you had Pinda in the center, you know, soaking up all that damage, but unfortunately, they weren't doing any forward guard damage. They weren't doing any SA damage.
Yeah. They just died.
They were just dying, and Pinda was completely in the center. Like, he was in the center. You could have damaged him, and the Sage just wasn't there. You know what I mean? That's why the Sage was also in that 1v3 scenario, is because he wasn't dishing out the damage when he needed to be dishing out the damage, right? So they had a lot of good catches. Honestly, they played really well. They played really well, but not enough to get them a W.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's take a look at how this match changes things in our bracket. Okay, so looks like Cheers Brother moving up. They will be facing against Season Heskey in the semifinals. And unfortunately, Slade Squad having to default their match as well.
Really? Okay.
So Good Morning Club is going ahead into the semifinals for free.
They were shook. They saw
They
the
were
Good Morning
too
Club. They were
shook,
like, I'm not ready for breakfast today.
Which means that we have 3 of our semifinals participants already up there. There is one last match for our quarterfinals, which will be Bubs Are Us versus Weed and Stuff. Very interesting names.
Bubs Are Us. Okay, I'm wondering what that means.
Yeah, so let's take a look at these teams and see what we have in store for this match. So
another Sage.
Another Sage. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Valkyrie Sage. Caster?
Yeah, so on the Bubs Are Us side, we have Hunter on the Striker, Django on the Mystic, and Moonwater on the Witch. This is a full Warped Karma team, which I believe we were talking about this. We haven't really seen this guild participating, so...
I haven't seen Warped Karma. I think I saw them once, but it's actually both Warped Karma teams.
Exactly, so I was just going to get into this. Weed and Stuff is Leave Honest on the Wizard, Starry Skies on the Valk, and Exinhel.
Okay, yeah, good.
I'm just going to call him God because that's what his next character is. On the Sage. And this is Weed and Stuff with the Warped Karma GM versus Bubs Are Us on the Warped Karma.
This is the GM?
So this
is the GM,
you know, we saw this in the NA quarterfinals as well, where we had Academy versus Academy. Now, they didn't have the GM in play that time around, but this time around on EU, we also have one of these lesser-known guilds unfortunately catching their opponent as the same guild in the quarterfinals. So, going to be very interesting to see.
I want Weed and Stuff to win.
I
want Weed and Stuff to win just so the GM decides to give them... No, I don't want Weed and Stuff to win. I want Bubs Are Us to win. Yes.
So because the GM's like, okay, you are all promoted. I'm going to give you full payout.
No, that's actually not what's going to happen. If they end up beating their GM, they're probably going to get T1s. Right? They're going to get T1 payout. They're not getting paid at all.
Well, this is also very interesting matchups because on Bubs Are Us side, they're running double gauntlet with the Witch. And then on the Weed and Stuff side, they have the tank presence with the Valk, and then they're running essentially double caster with the Wizard and the Sage. So very interesting teams here. I'm wondering if that Valk is going to be able to survive against double gauntlet, and I'm wondering if this double long range is going to be able to do enough against the double gauntlet.
You want my prediction? To be honest, the best team comp right now, based off of what I'm looking at, is actually Weed and Stuff, because Valkyrie in Arena Varsha is huge, right? I don't know if it's Awakening or Succession, so that might change the outcome, but Valkyrie in general is a very huge class. It's like it's got the zoning, it's got the presence, and it's got the supports, the buffs, right? Yeah. And it can kind of do a bit of everything. It can be very defensive, and it can be very aggressive, depending on the spec.
For sure. But well, let's see how these Warped Karma teams do as we get into round 1.
Oh, okay, that's an Awakening Witch.
Gates are awakening us.
Awakening Witch. Interesting.
I mean, we saw double gauntlets yesterday. It definitely worked.
Yeah, but with an Awakening Witch this time, they're going to have to play very close.
Very stacked, yeah.
So, which is good for their team because they have double gauntlets. But let's see how...
There's a lot of stuff going on in the middle.
Okay, like I said, this is the group fight right here.
This is the group
Immediately
fight. The
fried.
Valkyrie already
Valkyrie
died.
already dead.
Yeah, Valkyrie already died.
And it's also an Awakening Wizard.
Awakening was.
Okay, interesting. Awakening Wizard into an Awakening Witch. Okay, not too much going on.
not too
Sage
much
is
going
just
on.
trying to... Looks like it's a... Is it? Yeah, Succession.
gets
Okay,
caught.
the Sage is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Bubs
yeah.
or Rust will be taking the first
Yeah.
round. But what did I just watch?
I actually don't. I actually don't know.
What happened there? Why was he standing in a fully unprotected skill?
move, yeah, and then not instantly CC.
You know, I'm not
kill.
certain, but as you said, Bubs or Us are actually making it happen against the team with the GM.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
And pretty convincingly, too.
right, exactly. Maybe T1s will be distributed to Bubs R Us if they end up taking the win. So I'm curious to see what happened there. I don't know what they can do differently. Maybe not go into an unprotected skill.
That's
Maybe
definitely an
that's
option.
That's a good
Yeah.
start.
Okay.
But
all
again,
right.
I do think it's going to be very difficult for them when they're running double caster into double gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because there's just always so much like chase and so much like threat of grab,
Right.
where they have to play like super safe in a way, which means that they can't really like put any pressure on,
Right.
which is really, really difficult for them. So let's see if they can maybe make something happen though in round 2. Let's take a look.
All right. Sure.
Okay, okay.
Oh, okay. All right, let's get into
Let's
it.
go in.
Armin, Armin's voice is incoming. I'm connecting to Armin with the satellite dish. We have the Valkyrie. Valkyrie's sitting off to the side. The Witch and his double gauntlets are approaching very slowly, trying to stay stacked together. They know that they win the stack fight because they've done it before. The Sage is probably going to
Sage
go into
already
something
gone.
unprotected. I thought it was a Succession Sage. It's actually an Awakening Sage. Trying to disarm some damage. Gets the CC, ends up taking out the Witch.
Yeah.
Witch is already down into a
Both
2v2. The Wizard also goes down. 2v2. Double gauntlets versus a Sage and a Valkyrie. Sage managed to get the V off. 7% health. Never mind. Dies immediately in SA. Valkyrie is gaming right now, trying to kill the Striker. Is unable to kill the Striker because the Mystic with the amazing peels and Bubs R Us takes another round.
Wow, really good stuff from Bubs R Us. They did get the trade-off very early on. Both casters went down, but then again, it's double gauntlet into Valkyrie's Sage.
it's-
And that Sage is doing very unprotected stuff
He is.
and casting very long-lasting skills with very little HP.
Yeah.
Which, again, I just don't know what to say other than you just need to
Just don't.
maybe get a bit more experience on the class.
Yeah, just don't do it.
At least in this 3v3 setting. Because this is different than, say, Node Wars or, you know, a larger scale stuff like RBF, whatever. It's different. People are going to go after you. They're going to target you when they know that you have low HP.
You have to keep in mind, though, like we said before, Warped Karma is probably a guild that's not super experienced
Yeah,
with
for
PvP,
sure.
but that's fine. It's nice that they attend tournaments, so they probably want to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
But we saw yesterday the double gauntlet setup
Yeah.
with gear check.
For sure. Well, let's see if they can
definitely
make something
dangerous.
happen, though, in this round 3. Let's take a look.
Alrighty, Bubs R Us could be their last round. They might win. They might win it
might
all. Surely stuff can change it up. The GM is going to be very mad after this match. That's for sure. All right, they're playing very passive. They can't fall into the same bait that they've been falling in. See, so right now, Toxic Flood right in the center. Doesn't even matter. They're full aggressive. Double gauntlets immediately applying pressure. The Sage doing another
unsafe stuff.
unprotected skill. Then they manage to see it instant dead.
Dude.
That can't even V, doesn't end up using his V. The Wizard ends up going down, doesn't even use his V. And Bubs R Us are your winners for the match. They will be moving up. What is going on?
Did you see
What
that?
is going on?
Did you see the Valkyrie there? She got the CC and like just stood there and did nothing.
Yes.
And the Mystic stood up and grabbed her instantly again. Like
Very
happens-
unfortunate
yeah,
turn of
very
events.
unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe the GM picked the wrong teammates for this time. Maybe should have pulled from the other team's pool
Yes.
or something.
Or join the other team.
Or join the other
join
team.
Or join Bubs R
Because
Us.
the Bubs R Us Warped Karma team will be moving on into the semifinals, and unfortunately, Weed and Stuff with the Warped Karma GM is going to be
I forgot their
stopping
name was
here.
Weed and Stuff.
Weed and
Weed-
Stuff.
Maybe a little bit of...
Maybe that's why he was so unprotected.
Oh,
Maybe they're
that
so
makes, yeah, that
slow
makes a
and
lot of
unsafe,
sense.
yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to connect some dots here. That makes some sense. Okay.
Well, since we have all of our teams stacked into the semifinals, before we get into that, we are going to be taking a short break, and then we will go into the semis and the third place match, and then eventually into the grand finals. But before all of that, again, we will take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We will be back in a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the European TUVALA Cup for Season Dracania. I, again, am your host, Siam Durgaf, and on the cast today we have Sly Nations and our EU partner, Zect. So we've gone through the round of 8A and the quarterfinals, and now it is time for us to pick up with the semifinals. So let's take a look at our bracket and how this has been playing out.
Looking good so far.
Yes, so
really
our
good.
first semifinal match is going to be Season Heskey versus Cheers Brother, and then we are going to move into Good Morning Club versus Bubs R Us. But this first match, Heskey versus Cheers Brother, is going to be very, very
interesting,
interesting.
yeah.
This is your
This is-
grudge match.
So
This
let's
is
take a
main
look.
versus
Let's take a
both.
look at the matchups, and then maybe you will see some of why. So on the Season Heskey side, that's Viol on the Warrior, Cavalli on the Mystic, Overload on the Sork, and then on the Cheers Brother side, that's GTL on the Warrior, God on the Sork, and Pinda on the Striker. Zek,
Yeah.
why is this match so important?
So this is boss versus main, so this is the grudge match, and more importantly, we had this in A-Way, this in the semifinals as well, that we had exactly the same fight pretty much, just that they had Jacob instead of God. But it's really interesting because we have doubles, we have two Soaks, we have two Warriors, and two Gauntlets, just a Mystic and a Striker, so it's a really interesting match. And it can go either way. Like everyone is excellent players there. Like it just comes down to experience, team comp, how they position themselves, and yeah, we will definitely read some juicy stuff afterwards.
Yes, so as you were saying, this is the two main siege guilds on EU facing off in the semifinals, which is a very similar situation to how
Yeah.
things played out in the Arena of Arsha tournament several months ago, where we saw Main versus Boz Deep in the
Yeah.
semifinals. And in that tournament, our Cheers Brother team with GTL and Pinda on it managed to eke out the win and take that tournament. However, we'll see if on this time around, if the Season Heskey team can actually manage to pull out the win over our main team. And another thing that I wanted to, that you had already mentioned that's really interesting, is this is almost a mirror match.
Yeah.
The
It
only
is, yeah.
difference being a Mystic and a Striker. So, once again, these teams that are performing very well, running very basic, if you will, or more bread and butter team compositions.
Right.
Which is kind of what we expect. We expect the Warrior Sork Gauntlet team to do well because those classes performed so well in the in like an Arena of Arsha 3v3 setting. But as you were saying, in the Arena of Arsha tournament that we had several months ago, that was a main gear tournament.
Yeah.
So gear came into play in that fight. Versus this
100%,
time
yeah.
around, it's TUVALA gear.
It's TUVALA,
So
right,
everyone is maxed out. And I don't know if you've talked to some of these teams before the tournament started. Is there anything specific that they're doing with crystal setups or...
I'm not too sure about that. I know from the last tournament that they had some, especially on both sides, that some players had some weird gearing,
Mhm.
made some good gearing decisions, especially
Yeah.
when it comes to crystals. So maybe we will see actually a different outcome today.
Mhm.
I'm super excited for that match. It's pretty much the best match for today. So yeah, I can't
Main
wait.
versus Boz Deep, man.
Yeah, and without further ado, we do have round one ready to go. Let's go, Main versus Boz Deep.
All right, let's
Gates
get
are
into
open.
it.
Let's go. Let's.
All right, on Heskey's team. All right, Boz Deep trying to play very together. Looks like
Ooh, we
Overload.
got-
Already a
got
catch with the DOD. Huge catch.
Yeah.
No follow-up from any.
Uh,
No follow-up from his teammates, unfortunately. Looks like Regular just chilling off to the side. Splice also chilling off to the side. GTL is just trying to look for some sort of a catch. Everybody's playing very,
Very-
very passive right now.
Very careful. They all know that one little mistake can
One
cost the
CC
whole.
and it can change the fight.
It can change the whole fight, so they need to be really careful. There's the CC on GTL.
Boz Deep is fully E-buffed right now. Already a V coming out from GTL. All right. Good regroup. Very good regroup from Boz Deep. Right, Mystic looking for a catch here. Ends up catching a V. Splice has no choice. The Sork has to get out of there. And because of that, their teammates.
I think
teammates are just at
GTL
a
also got
disadvantage here.
popped the V from someone back then.
Viol, he
Yeah.
was having a warrior v warrior fight off in the outskirts.
Oh,
Which he's
that's
doing it
Viol.
again.
Oh,
But this
no,
time
the-
Viol
only
gets.
got
Can he get the
grabbed.
re-CC?
No,
No, doesn't get the
no
re-CC,
CC.
but he gets the slow.
So-
He gets a slow. A lot of. Okay, we saw GM match for a second. All right. Pinda trying to be aggressive.
Oh,
with
Overload's
the
already dead. Overload's dead. And
Okay,
it
so
will-
Overload's down,
it's a-
but then.
get-
Okay, Mystic's on the ground.
KD, no follow-up though. It's still super low.
Okay.
Needs to be careful. Violi also died here. It's
Oh,
just
good grab
Shift.
from Pinda.
Yeah,
Can they sniff out the V?
they don't need to.
Oh,
really,
there
but
it
Oh
is.
my
They did.
god.
Unfortunate he wasn't able to go far enough.
Really well played. But
Yep,
we
very good
saw
stuff.
we saw it at the beginning. Like they play super careful.
Yeah.
Like they know one mistake and this is over.
I mean, Bosdeep
So-
kind of had the advantage there for a bit, but
It looked really good
Main
for them.
turned
yeah.
it around. Yeah,
But
definitely.
we didn't really see how Overload died there.
No,
So
I didn't get to see it.
that was the point where it turned.
Yeah.
So maybe they will change it in round 2.
Yeah, who knows? Again, Main taking the first round over Bosdeep. And we're going to go ahead and see if Bosdeep can bring it back in round 2.
Yes. All right.
Gates are open.
Surely, Bosdeep is furious with that first round. They want to get back at Main immediately. They said, we got the CCs. We can play better. We can play better. Let's see how they turn this around. Still, both teams playing very passive. Patiently waiting. Pinda on the aggression, trying to go for an easy grab or just a mass catch. Staying very grouped up right now. GTL still being patient.
Stack together. They know.
All right, Mystic
Oh,
trying to
insta-
go for an insta grab,
grab.
ends up catching a CC. It looks
Oh,
like
they
GTL
got-
and Pinda
They
and
got it.
it's a triple kill down in the center. Oh my god.
That was really well. That was a great engage from the Mystic. And
Okay,
then everyone followed up.
Yes.
and they got CC.
Now
So
that's
that was-
communication.
that
That
was
is
well
communication.
played,
Because they
yeah.
followed up immediately.
Immediately, yeah.
Mystic went in, tried to go for the grab, didn't get the grab, whiffed the grab, but then they tried to retaliate and catch with a CC, but then ended up getting punished because it was unprotected CC. And because of that, GTL went down, Pinda went down, and then Splice just ended up trying to
Yeah.
peel and try to assist their team, but
It's one
too much
soul,
damage.
Yeah,
It's way too much damage.
Teamfight was already won at that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Really well
really,
played.
really interesting stuff in that
Classic
second round.
1-1.
Again, it's really interesting to see these sort of almost mirror matches where they're playing very, very careful around each other. And then as soon as one catch happens, then the
Yes.
communication is just there. The
Right
synergy
away.
is there.
Yeah.
This match is like, it's full Main versus Bosdeep, like the cream of the crop that they can bring to this tournament. And
Yeah.
they've played together for so long that they know exactly when they see that catch, it's just, let's go right for it.
Right.
So let's see how things hopefully shake up a little bit in round 3. Let's take a look.
Gates are open,
All
my
right,
friend.
gates are open. We're probably going to see another passive. Okay, DOD is being traded across the center. Pinda trying to hold off to the side. GTL looking for a flank position.
Really playing passive here.
Okay, they're staying grouped up, which is very good. DOD is across the center again. All right, just making sure that they're always pre-buffed. It's going to look. It's for one person to make the engage. One person has to make the
Yep.
engage.
One
No
CC
catch from
catch.
the DOD. All right, Succession. Missed
Oh,
a
he got
huge
the
grab
grab.
from a regular.
Yeah.
That's an immediate V.
Oh, but he
Viol
died.
is just
He died.
too much damage.
Too much damage there.
GTL
yeah.
is going to be very low right now.
But he stays safe. He didn't get CC, didn't panic. It's good.
Splice,
Ooh.
yeah, Splice.
Splice
Ended up getting
died.
traded. It
Yeah.
turns it into a 2v2.
Yep.
This is definitely winnable, but
Oh,
GTL catches it, but he gets an insane
got
peel from his sword.
this-
Oh my god, but it's
Overlo-
just so much
really well-
damage.
That was really well played from Overload. Like you saw the soul. GTL wants to come with the solar catch.
Yes.
On shift for the on the Mystic.
Immediately peeled from with the
Yeah.
DOD.
The
What an
DOD
insane
the
play.
timing was. Did you see the timing was
Yes,
perfect?
it was perfect.
Like, absolutely perfect. Punishing a solar flag catch
Yeah.
with DOD.
The
is
warrior,
not
the
easy.
warrior was gonna get the kill. He was gonna go for
Yeah.
the CC and immediately got punished for it. Right? Probably wasn't aware of where Overload was. I mean, it didn't even matter. It was in an
yeah.
instant. Everything happened.
I
in
mean,
an
you don't
instant.
expect
Exactly.
a DOD in your in your
Overload.
sort of
Very well played.
really
honestly.
well played. But this is what I mean with timing. And this Sorg is really good with that.
Yeah.
He's always on point with his timing, and we just saw
That was
what
a
can,
clean
what can
match.
happen if you do it.
2-1.
Very,
what
very
goes
interesting
on.
stuff. And Boz is definitely showing their stuff
Yes,
this time
they're-
around. They're a little annoyed that Maine took that,
That first
AOA
round, I told
tournament.
you, yeah.
Well, and they're also that they took that whole tournament from them
Right.
previously. So now they're really showing up, showing some really strong play, some good coordination, and really managing to make something happen. And
think
as
the
you said, they
communication
were
is good.
they were definitely a little peeved about that first round,
Yes.
and now they're bringing the heat. So let's see if they can close out the win in round 4.
Gates are open.
Let's see how
ding.
Maine does differently this time. This time they're sending Splice off to the flank position. Splice is probably going to just regroup and maybe take right angle. He didn't really see too much on left. All right. Bozdeep kind of taking it slow, very patiently right now. All right, Mystic
Oh, there
looking
was
for the
CC
peel,
on
immediately
Pinda.
trying to help, and
A
CC's
lot of
Pinda.
Vs in there.
That's a very big peel from the Mystic. Very
Yeah.
huge peel. He ended up
Oh,
getting Pinda and
Slice.
GTL low. Splice on the ground. Splice is able to get up, recover. Throwing a DOD for some support. Pinda just trying to stay alive, trying to do some SA,
Ooh,
forward
that
guard.
was
Good disengage. Regroups with the striker. Trying to get a reposition.
okay, they got a
Big CC from Overload. Can he get the kill? Oh my
Oh,
god,
oh,
Splice
he
ends
just-
up going down. GTL
just
ends up going
going
down.
down.
That's
It's
a
a
huge fight on the stack. Pinda left for a 1v3.
And he got
Oh, and he got caught by DOD. Has to V. Let's see how
Really
Pinda
well played.
positions himself here. Okay, very
they got
through the
sniffed.
wall.
Yeah, they sniffed
Oh
it.
my god,
But-
the Succession Mystic with a clean catch right
So,
out of the V.
Really well played from Season Husky.
Yeah. That
Like I
was,
said-
mean, this is unexpected. Honestly, this is very unexpected because it looks like Pinda and GTL are trying to peel for each other, right? Because they do end up getting the CCs, but it all goes back to the overcommit thing, right? They overcommit to something that they end up getting, like, you know, his teammate's going to obviously peel.
Right.
So you have to immediately think, okay, he's probably going to V this. If it's not a KD, he's going to V this,
Yeah.
right? Is it worth overcommitting this? It's not. So they have to immediately disengage and then, like, re-engage onto the other two teammates that are not inside their V.
For sure.
Right.
I'm wondering if we can actually take a look at a replay from that
Oh,
final
absolutely,
round.
yeah.
Let's
That
see
would
if
be
we
cool,
can
yeah.
maybe cue that up. But in the meantime, yeah, very, very interesting stuff coming out in that final round. As you said, maybe some overcommitting
Yeah.
going on, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, Bozdeep, Team Husky managing
They
to take
took
the
it this
win
time.
over
They're bringing
Maine.
some
They
flame,
got-
man.
they
They're
got the
bringing some
revenge.
flame.
And on this skill level, it's like I said earlier, it's one little mistake can turn the whole thing around.
Yeah.
And on this, even though they're all great players, like all of them, so like little things make the difference. And Team SK definitely did a great job.
I think
this
it's
time.
I honestly very, 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 very good communication
Yeah.
between the Succession Mystic and the Sork. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's going on in their comms, but that's like
They're communicating
Yeah.
telepathically. to
literally,
one
it's
another.
just on point, like perfect timing. I like it a lot. actually.
Those three players are pretty much like the elite from Bossy, what they can put
Okay.
together as a three team. Like they played together before, and also like as an individual, like all of them are great. So
Okay.
really
Very
well
good
played,
showing
yeah.
so far. I'm curious to see what
Yeah.
ends up happening. I
For
want
sure.
to see the next match already.
You know what I thought was really interesting is the main team definitely showed up looking like they were going to win.
Yeah,
So they showed up. They've got Arsha's proof.
Yeah.
right
Over
above
all
their
of them,
head, literally
right?
above their head.
I think God was wearing Laur Zeka on
Okay.
his seasonal character.
Okay,
So
all
farmed
right,
up another Laur Zeka just to flex, you know. And they come out, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take this." And then Bozdeep totally wipes the floor with them.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I mean, that's.
That was really well played. They got
I'm
one
telling you, it's
point,
that
but
first round. It got to them.
Got to
I
them.
know
Yeah.
the comms, right, for Bozdeep, and they're just like, no, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Overload was like, no, this time we're turning it around. Okay, I'm getting this. I drank G Fuel.
I
Right?
drank
I
G Fuel.
drank
Of course,
G
it's
Fuel,
G Fuel.
okay?
Oh,
I'm
it's G
ready.
Fuel. Yeah.
So I mean, wow. Okay, it's pretty.
Well, a
interesting
really,
fight.
really exciting semifinals match. Let's go ahead and see how this changes up our bracket. Once again, Team Husky, or excuse me, Season Husky.
Wait, they won the whole thing.
No, not
Well,
yet.
I mean, they won that. They made it. Wait, they won that. They won like they were the
Well,
winners
they
of that.
No, they won the semi. Yeah, they won the semifinals.
Oh my God! Wait,
Did you
what?
forget?
Yes, they were-
I forgot for the split second. Okay, interesting.
Congratulations to Season Husky making it into that finals, and they will be facing off against either Good Morning Club or Bubs R Us. And meanwhile, the main team, Cheers Brothers, they still have a chance at that
Of
third
the third
place.
prize. Yeah.
Okay.
But definitely going to be a little butthurt in that
I mean,
guild
I
v
think
guild
it
fight.
is the first tournament there where they actually not being like first place,
Right.
like from official side. So
So TUVALA gear, man, I'm telling you. That TUVALA gear is just different. It doesn't even feel like real
For
gear.
sure. But let's go ahead and take a look at our next matchup. That is our last semifinal match. It's going to be Good Morning Club versus Bubs Are Us, which is also a very interesting match because we have Grim, Slim, Meow Meow on the Striker, Berserker, and Witch versus our good old Warped Karma team, Bubs Are Us, on the Striker, Mystic, Witch. So, double Gauntlet Witch
Gauntlet.
and Gauntlet Berserker Witch.
You got that mirror matchup, right? You got the double Striker and then the double Witches.
for this matchup, it's important to mention though we have a Siege guild here against probably not the
Not
Against
experienced-
Warped Karma,
You have
the
to keep
greatest
this-
guild ever created.
Okay,
Karma, yeah.
alright. Yeah.
No, but you have to keep this in mind. Like we are, they are like plebs is way more experienced. They are around for a long time, and like I said, I don't know really Warped Karma, and we saw in the previous match that they are a bit more slow when it
Yeah,
comes to
They have a
fighting.
Zerker.
They have a Zerker.
There is
that
a
is true,
Zerker on
but-
the other team, so
But
I mean,
even if you have a Zerker, the Zerker still needs to like, time his CCs well and follow up and stuff.
Right.
So
You know what, guys? I'm rooting for Bubs. I want to see them in the
Same. You
finals.
want-
I want to see Bubs from Warped Karma
Okay.
facing off against the cream of the crop from
Yeah.
Boz Deep. That's
that
what
would
I
be
want to
funny,
see.
yeah.
I only want them to make it super far and maybe even win it all, to be honest.
And
right?
win it all.
And win it all, just so that, because remember, their GM, they beat their GM already.
They already beat
right?
their GM.
So if they can show their GM that they can win the tournaments, oh man, the GM is just going to swap ownership
Yeah.
on the guild. He's just going to give them GM
All
at this
right, well,
point.
let's see how they do in this first round. Let's get right into that.
All right, we're starting with Bubs. All right,
Gates are
Bubs
open.
this is communication right here. They're talking,
Bubs.
talking
They're
strategy. They already see their opponent straight down the middle. They immediately dive. Succession Mystic being super aggressive,
Whoa, they
getting
did that already.
insta fried. Oh my God!
The whole team nearly gets insta fried.
They're all dead. They're already
They're
all
dead.
dead. One person survived because of their V. And then, I mean, it's just the Striker with his clones.
Endless
and he's
explosion.
dead.
Endless explosion in the middle of 5 people.
They were not ready
Good
for the
idea.
breakfast. They were not ready for the Good Morning
for
Club.
breakfast. No,
That
We're
is-
not ready
wow.
for the
no.
Good Morning Club. Yeah, definitely ran out the door, toast in mouth. We're not ready for breakfast.
No.
Had to rush in there, and unfortunately weren't able to make something happen.
No.
But I mean, as you said, obviously this is going to be very difficult for them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Facing
what,
plebs.
I believe in Bubs, right?
I
believe
also
in
believe in Bubs.
They came out of the gate and they were talking strategy, all right? It
Mhm.
just so happens that Good Morning, they interrupted, all right? They interrupted their
They
strategy
interrupted
talk.
the strategy meeting.
Exactly.
Maybe
so,
they should have had the strategy meeting before the gate came up.
True, but things
Yeah.
happen, man.
They
So,
do.
so Bubs is going to bring it back in this next round.
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Sure. Okay?
Absolutely. I cannot wait to see Bubs.
Yes.
Just absolutely crush it.
Yeah.
So let's see if Bubs can actually make something happen in
Alright.
round 2. Let's take a look.
Come on, Grim, you can do that.
All right. Looks like Pleb's just straight running it down center,
They're
not
playing
giving them the
super
time for the
aggressive
strategy.
here.
Immediately going for the Witch. Doesn't end up to catch the Witch. Witch.
Oh no,
Oh,
Mystic
they
down
already
Oh,
lost
they
the
already lost the
Mystic.
Mystic. How unfortunate.
They did end up taking a V from the Berserker, though. Striker still being very, very aggressive. Berserker's holding, waiting for the V. V is going to be out right in front of them. That is just
Instant
very,
death.
very unfortunate.
That is really-
super tanky. Okay.
I mean, it's still a striker, right?
Yeah.
There's still a bit of tanky, but we saw it again. It's hard for
I
them.
mean, it's
is-
going to be difficult for them. There
Like,
is- yeah. I mean,
the Good Morning Club is just going in super aggressive.
they're just very aggressive.
They
They're
don't know
straight
how
off the gate.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
know how to handle it, especially when you have teams that are not super experienced at PvP and their classes they don't know their class 100%. When they have to encounter like teams that go so aggressive on them, it's hard to react to this right away.
I think Bubs is just
So-
not expecting that aggression.
Yeah,
That's-
this
that's
is
really
why
what
they
it
don't
is.
know how to
I
react
think,
against
like,
it.
even if they are expecting the aggression, they
What
may
can you
just
do?
not have a plan set up with how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they're also trying to then dive, like, the enemy caster on the pleb side, which doesn't really work out well for them because they're leaving their witch alone.
Yeah, every single
And
time.
then the witch just gets blown up. Because what can you do?
I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
what
the
can you
Mystic
do,
that's
yeah.
dying first if you actually...
That is true. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Is they're diving the backline with their Mystic at the same time, but their
Yeah.
Mystic just isn't experienced enough to know what to do in that situation.
Like, how to survive.
And then they'll just take too much damage and die.
It's
It's rough.
rough.
It's gonna be rough for them.
Yeah.
But I still believe in Bubs. Come
Still
on,
believe in
baby.
Bubs. They
You
can
got
make
this.
they can
You got
make
this,
the
Bubs.
reverse sweep.
Yeah.
Bubs, we're rooting for you on the casting
If anyone
desk.
can do it, Bubs can do it.
If you're sniping the stream, we are in full support of you guys. Let's see
Yes.
if they can turn it around in round 3.
The Mystic is gonna evolve. Okay.
Oh, look
and
at he's
all
crouching.
right, they're just
Okay.
no.
This is Slim. He's super
I
funny.
deserve
man.
Oh
He's
no,
He's
the
always
RP
trolling.
lock.
He's
No,
always
man.
trolling, man.
Oh my
this
god.
is not good.
Okay, this is typical Slim. He's always doing something like
All
that.
right.
He's
Surely Bubs
trolling,
sees this,
man.
right? Oh no.
Look,
He's
he's
still
walking.
RP walking.
Grim is just walking with the walking animation. And
He
just
goes for the
Oh my
immediate grab. Ends up getting the headbutts. And that is
and
just...
then it,
what
this
just
is-
happened?
this is what I mean, man. It's super
Well,
hard.
Bubs!
Bubs.
What happened?
We were rooting for you guys. Well, honestly though, Bubs, great showing in the previous rounds, and we
Yeah.
are so glad to have multiple teams from Warp Karma coming into the tournament today because, again, it's TUVALA tournament. It's good to have
They
some
made
of
it
these.
very far.
Yep, they made it pretty
They made
all
it-
the way into
they made it far.
semifinals.
Yeah.
It's great to have some of these teams, a little bit lesser known teams, that can get some more tournament experience and maybe, you know, make some changes to their mental of like, oh, okay, like this is how things work. Let's try and train up a bit, get some scrims going. Okay, maybe let's bump the guild up a little bit, get some more members, start going out for tier 2s, tier 3s, and then eventually make it into that siege scene. Like, this is where it starts.
Yeah.
So, for them, amazing showing from you guys. So happy to have you guys here. But, of course, plebs, good morning, club. It was a
Yeah.
little exciting.
I mean, they said good morning.
I mean,
They
you
didn't
saw
say
how
they
they
say
acted
good
in the
morning
last
with their
round.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, it was but it was good. It was funny, man. It was really funny.
That last round, though, man. The crouching, that's some BM,
That's-
man.
that is a little
That's some
disrespectful.
BM, man.
A little
And
disrespectful.
It
for
is.
sure.
But that is Slim. Like this is the player. He's always like that.
Okay.
He's just trolling.
Alrighty, well, let's take a look at our brackets and see how this is shaping up to be. So, Good Morning Club also moving up. They will be fighting Season Heskey for that
Oh,
first
boy.
place spot. And Bubs or Us are going to be moving into the third place match versus Cheers Brother, our main team. Let's see if Bubs or Us are going to be able to
Oh no!
stack
Wait,
it up
Bubs
against
has to fight
Spain.
Cheers. Oh,
I still believe in you, Bubs.
Okay,
Because-
okay. Bubs is getting the full experience.
Oh,
the
boy.
full experience against Siege players. Like, oh,
Yes,
man.
so let's take a look. Our third place match is going to be next, so let's take a look at the matchups for this. It's going to be Cheers Brother, our team from Maine, versus Bubs Are Us. Bubs, don't
That's
get
how
too
it-
disheartened by this, is all I'm going to say. Anyways, GTL is back on the Warrior, of course. Splice on the Sork and Pinda on the Striker versus our double gauntlet Witch that we've seen for Bubs Are Us. Once again, Bubs Are Us are running against one of these very sort of meta teams for
Yeah.
3v3s,
and they're dealing with a drastic experience
Dude,
gap.
yeah.
They're dealing with some siege players. That's what they're dealing with. You're going to have GTL Empire literally running it down mid. You're going to have Pinda running it down mid. Hopefully they're not as aggressive because I kind of want to see Bubs make it out of the, I want to see them like
Don't
a
see him
serious
make it out of the
space.
gate.
I mean, Cheers Brothers. They probably know that the team is not like suited for them.
I mean, they definitely know.
But maybe they surprise us and we see something.
You know what?
Like maybe some 1v3s
Bubs will
or
win.
something like that.
All right,
Bubs will win.
Bubs
Wow,
will win.
that's the prediction.
That is the prediction. Bubs will win.
Bubs will win.
Bubs
right?
will win.
Splice right now. He's
Bubs will absolutely dunk on Maine.
No, no.
And Bob's Deep will reign supreme.
I think Splice is gonna let GTL and Pinda kind of like give him like maybe like a 2v3 scenario. I think that's what
Maybe.
Splice is
You
gonna
know,
probably
part of me hopes that they don't do that because I think it is a
That-
little
that is
disrespectful to just
disrespectful,
go
yeah.
in and say
Okay,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, you're so weak that we're not giving you the full experience." I think
mean-
it's also very difficult to learn from that.
Right.
Because well, it's difficult to learn in general from the situation
Yeah,
with the
it is.
huge experience gap, but if you're just giving them the 2v3 and then basically disrespecting them, that's not really teaching them how to like play as a team versus
Right.
proper 3v3. So I'm really hoping that they bring their stuff, they really have like a good showing, and Bubs R Us is able to take something away from this tournament.
Okay.
Anyways, we do have round 1 ready to go. Once again, this is going to be best of 7 since it is our first place match. So let's see how round 1 goes.
All right, like I said, straight aggression. You already see the DOD from across the center. All right, looks like the Bubs' striker immediately getting grabbed. Force the V. All right,
my
just
God.
grab the. This is just
grab,
grab
yeah.
central. Just
Grab
straight
central.
grab central. All right, striker's already down.
Ooh, and the witch goes down too.
Which goes down too. Then we have just the Mystic.
All right. Well, it was actually just striker. The Mystic was the first one down.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, what we're seeing from Cheers Brothers is walk up and grab them.
Yeah.
Actually, a bit disrespectful. The striker was basically just running at them.
Yep.
And grabbing them.
Yep. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what you asked them to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
kind
fair.
of. Kind of.
That is fair. That is what I asked them to do.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it means that Bubs RS is going to have to figure out how to dodge striker grabs, which will
Yeah.
teach them something.
I mean,
Something.
yeah, I guess. I mean, you got to keep in mind, it is a striker and a mystic,
Yep.
right? Versus a striker and a warrior,
Yep.
right? So they're probably trying to go for their own grabs,
Mhm.
but they're just getting out grabbed.
Yep.
I mean, it's just.
So it's just a grab battle.
Exactly. It's literally a grab battle.
Well, maybe not a grab battle. It's more of Cheers Brothers going up and going for the grab, and then Bubs being like, "Oh crap, what are we gonna do?" So let's see if they can maybe make something happen though in round 2. Let's take a look.
Gates are open.
All right. Witches. The witches just, please don't let them grab me again.
I mean,
Those
he's
are the
trying to go for
communications
this
right now.
early Spyro Cannon. That's not the worst thing to do.
Looks
It's
like Splice already had the V.
Mystic
he
already
had to
down.
be there, yeah. He had to
Immediately, or Mystic's already out of the fight. Striker's still
they're
alive. Witch
using-
is already out of the fight. Striker ends up going down.
They're using a lot of unsafe stuff, like in
It's
the
just
middle of people.
One shot
For sure.
central. It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they were able to get a V off, which is
That's a
progress.
start.
Which is
That's-
good. Yeah, that
it's
is progress.
That's
Yeah.
a start.
But yeah, I mean, as soon as the Mystic went down, again, we've seen this Mystic playing a little bit too aggressive, playing a little bit too unprotected, going down first more often than not. As soon as that Mystic went down, then our main team pretty much just collapsed on the other two, and
Right.
there was practically nothing they could do. But pretty much, it's always been Mystic goes down first, then the Witch, then the Striker.
Yeah, every single time.
But the Striker, interestingly enough, in this round was kind of the initiator. But I feel like our main team, Cheers Brother, just kind of ignored him.
Yes.
And then he was out of the fight.
They
Yeah.
just run straight.
Yeah, just straight to the gate.
Yeah, and
grab
just try to
them.
get the others. Yeah.
And
It-
yeah,
it's hard
just a
for
little
them.
unfortunate.
Being super aggressive, like I said they would be.
I mean, the
That's-
striker also, like, he followed up with super unsafe stuff in
Yeah.
the middle of people while he missed his Spyro Cannon, missed, like,
But it doesn't
mass
matter because the
destruction.
striker is still the one that's surviving, right? He's always the one that's alive at the end.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
It's the
It's-
Mystic that's impressively enough,
inting.
like very impressive, honestly, that he's always the first one to go down. And
Yep.
I'm trying to see where he puts himself. I think what they're doing is they're kind of stacking on him because they know that he's like kind of like rotating his SAs, and SAs in this it's a good thing and a bad thing because he's taking too much damage.
Yeah.
He's taking a
So
lot
he
of
has to
damage,
just
yeah.
avoid, right? And then kind of use more forward guards. Put himself in the position to use forward guards and kind of soak up some of that damage. But that, like, it goes back to the whole experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's see if they can maybe turn something around in round 3. Let's take a look.
Gates are open.
Okay, he's went to go buy some potions.
He's I mean, that's a good start as well.
Yeah. All right, making
They're
it
going
out of the
super
gate.
aggressive.
They're going into their gates. All right, GTO just holding his block down in the center.
Chasing the witch, like,
Yep,
instant grab.
waiting for the grab. The minute the witch goes into any skills,
Not much you can do as an awakening
manages to
witch.
get the V.
Like,
It looks like it's just the witch
it's just the witch.
in the hardest fight of his life right now.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cheers Brother ends up taking
Yeah.
another win. Oh man.
I mean, you vote for Bubs.
Bubs.
right? Bubs.
I mean, what did you see from the Mystic this time around? I don't know if you caught them, because you were wanting to see like how they positioned
Mystic died.
differently.
The
okay.
Mystic died.
Yeah, the
That's
Mystic
what you
died.
saw.
Point.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
the,
Mystic
that's what
died.
happened. The Mystic died.
Right.
Okay, that so I made it out of the gate. Lasted about 2.5 seconds,
Yeah.
and the Mystic died.
Well,
I mean, I don't think he's doing the FGs, right? I don't think he's using his FGs at the
it's
appropriate
just
spots.
like SA,
Yes.
maybe
SA,
unprotected,
Yes.
SA, and then he's just getting blown up.
And even if he were to use the FGs, I'm not saying it's going to save him, right?
Right.
Because he is fighting very experienced players.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would prolong a little bit more time for him to stay alive.
And we're seeing very little Vs as well. Like
Yes.
they're kind of just dying standing up.
Yes. The Witch definitely got her V off.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Survived and then was left in a 1v3.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So maybe some more Vs pop. They can
Yes.
pop out of those Vs together as a team and then come back and actually have a proper
Absolutely.
team fight instead of dying standing up.
Love
This is very
Russ. We
unfortunate.
believe in you, please. You got this.
Alrighty,
go.
well, Cheers, excuse me, Cheers Squad is Cheers Squad. What am I talking about? Cheers Brother is up 3-0, and let's see if they can make this a clean 4-0 sweep in our 4th round.
All right, Pinda straight, literally just running straight towards them. He's just holding.
Trying to go for the witch instantly,
Already,
man.
immediately
He
killing
died,
the striker.
like,
The
instant
Mystic
dead.
ends up going
It's
down.
Dead.
The
Just-
Witch left in another
He could V,
1v3.
bro. He could V, man.
Oh, he died in his V.
No, the witch.
The striker, yeah, but the striker died in his
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the witch. Yeah.
That is, well
Well
Cheers
played.
Brothers.
Cheers. Yeah, third.
Wow.
Well
Well
played.
done for third place.
Congratulations, Cheers. I think we probably expected that, but congratulations, Cheers Brothers. Our main team is going to be taking that 3rd place prize, but Bub's taking 4th place prize. They still get some pearls.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. They get 6K,
Yeah.
right?
6K pearls.
6K
6K
pearls.
for Bubs. Yeah,
That's actually huge.
That's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Now their GM is like, you owe me those 6K pearls.
now that the GM's like, okay, all of you need to go buy a tent because
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
have one yet.
No, they definitely have their
Okay, I'm
tents,
joking, I'm
man. They
joking.
definitely have their tents, for sure.
Nah,
I'm
I would
sorry.
not be sure about that.
Yeah.
But yes, they
yeah.
will be taking away a small number of pearls as well. And thank you guys so much for
Oh yeah,
running those
participating.
matches.
Yeah,
I want
Yeah,
to say
like,
there's
obviously some very, very difficult fights to,
Yeah.
to run
Yeah.
through
Definitely
in the
rough at
semifinals
the
and the
end,
3rd
yeah.
place match, but awesome stuff.
even if it was a bit fun for us, like it's really good that we have new guilds participating
Oh,
in
yeah.
those tournaments. We need new PvP players coming up from somewhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad to see them and hope to see more in the future.
Yeah,
Like-
and I mean, Warped Karma is placing both 4th and joint 8th in the
Yeah.
quarterfinals as well. So really good standings for them, to be honest, in this tournament.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really, really cool stuff. Well, let's take a look at our bracket. Or, sorry, no, we are... yeah, let's take a look at the bracket. Congratulations, Cheers Brothers, again, for that 3rd place. Our next match will be Season Heskey versus Good Morning Club, our final match. But before we get into that match, we are going to be taking a short break. So, don't go anywhere. Our last final match is going to be very, very exciting.
Yes.
See you in a bit. welcome back to our European TUVALA Cup Championships. We do have the Grand Finals ready for you now. We're going to go ahead and get right into it by taking a look at our team compositions. So we have Season Heskey, our Bosdeep team, running it against Good Morning Club, our Plebs team, right?
Plebs
yeah,
team,
Plebs
right.
team, which is going to be very, very interesting. The Warrior Mystic Sork versus the Striker Zerker Witch. Let's go ahead and get right into this as we have round one ready to go.
Gates are up already.
All right, Bosdeep probably going to keep up with the aggression that they've been holding. All right,
Instant
that's an
e-buff
e-buff
on
coming.
the- yeah, from
straight
there.
to regular.
They're all e-buffed, like the whole boss team
Oh,
e-buffed.
they're just going to straight run it down. Mystic already
Yeah.
getting CC'd. Or, that was a, yeah. Okay, that was, all right, this is just ending up fast. They immediately took 2 Vs and they're pressuring the Berserker right off the bat, not even giving him time to V. Immediately catching the Striker's V location and just SA damage, SA damage. Wait, Viola and Overload are dead!
What?
Wait,
Wait, how? What?
Wait!
Wait. I didn't
I'm
catch
missing-
that.
What happened?
Wait, we need a replay on that.
What?
Look, how?
Okay.
Oh, okay. But Chiv,
Succession Mystic.
He's really good. He can win that.
Okay, they're stacking
very
slows.
slowed.
Very good Blizzard coming
Yeah.
from the caster.
They need to play the safe game. There's no reason for
I
them
didn't
to
even
engage.
see what happened. Okay.
I have no idea. I think they underestimated him like this team.
Okay,
He got the
big
CC
CC
there.
coming
really
from the
nice
Mystic.
CC. Not much
A
the Wizard
lot.
really can
No,
do.
there's going to be some decent damage, but the caster's smart. The caster got off the slow. He needs to go for this caster immediately. Because this caster with the range support
Yeah.
and heals is going to be huge.
Oh, they
Good
got
catch
a
with the
nice
meteor.
grab and
Oh
nice
my
follow-up. with the grab.
God.
They actually got a point, man. Like, what? Wow, I didn't expect
Good
that.
morning.
Good,
Good
morning,
morning.
Club.
You're crazy.
And the
Insane.
chat is definitely favored in terms of Good Morning Club.
Oh, that
definitely
was
got,
unexpected.
definitely got some friends in the chat there. Definitely very good stuff that happened there.
I mean, we don't know really what happened, right?
Listen,
like, how did they just die?
But
think
maybe we can take another look at that after the match. But unfortunately, or not unfortunately, we do have round 2 ready to go. So let's go ahead and get directly into that.
Will Good
I mean,
Morning be
gates are
able to
open.
keep up the momentum? Let's see.
That would be insane.
All right, caster already giving his team buffs. All right, looking. It's a succession witch, man. All right, good plays, good meteor from across the center. Looks like the Mystic's trying to be
Zerka
aggressive.
popped the E-buff.
Mystic taking a lot of damage right now. Already had to V. Okay, Overload trying to just dance around, staying close to their Mystic. Succession Witch is getting pressured right now, like he should be.
Yeah. Really nice heal.
GTL trying to get the flank on
That's
the.
Violi.
Okay. Roll GMC. So much damage.
Like,
They're
was
they're
instantly
focusing
dead.
the caster now. That's exactly what they should be doing. Zerker's very hurt right now. Probably going to be coming off from the right side. Immediately catches his VA location. He's going to be going down.
Yeah. And then there's a 1v3.
Striker left inside of a 1v3.
Not much you can do
Easily
with that.
grabbed.
And there's, I mean, he had the V still.
I called him GDL earlier.
You called him GTL, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
good solar flare catch.
Okay, that is it.
Immediately, yeah. It's very risky being right when there's a warrior still alive
It
because
is
of how
risky,
quick that solar
yeah.
flare is.
Yeah.
It's instant.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think they played a bit more serious this time.
Yeah.
I think they didn't expect that in the first round.
It's every time
Yeah.
Bosdeep loses one round.
They're like,
aggressive.
okay, guys, we have
Overload
to
is in the communications. He's like, that's never happening again. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. We're winning. That's what's happening in the communications right now. 100%.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Team Heskey obviously not happy about that first round,
Yeah.
and definitely
Definitely
managing
not.
to bring it back. So let's see if they are able to continue that streak, or maybe Good Morning will be able to make something happen again in this round 3. Let's take a look.
All right, let's see if they're going to be able to
Gates are
protect
up.
their witch a little bit better.
I mean, they definitely will go for the caster again. It's the logical step to do.
Yeah. Oh, the Zerker already getting CC'd from across the
Instantly,
map.
yeah. Not
Very
looking good.
unfortunate.
Mystic
Overload
is
taking a
really
decent
not-
amount of damage. Mystic taking a very huge amount of damage.
Witch already
Getting
down.
huge peels from VO. Which is already dead. Left in a 2v3 scenario. Just lot of damage going out. The
Zerka's going
Berserker's
down.
not going to be able to stay alive.
1v3 again.
1v3. Striker's not going to be able to get away from that, and that's just a clean kill.
This solar flare overwhelm CC is so fast.
Yeah, it's strong.
so
Very,
hard
very
to react
strong.
to that. It's crazy.
I mean,
But
what'd you
yeah.
think, Durgas?
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely two good teams, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
not like a complete blowout.
No.
But obviously, Boz Deep, very, very experienced. And Good Morning Club also showing some really, really good matches. Obviously,
Impressive plays.
you know, taking the first round like that.
I think in this comp though, they have to protect the caster. The caster's the problem for them. The caster's getting focused, and then it's a 2v3, and there's not much they can do about it. Then.
Yeah.
So it is hard for them.
They lose their range support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the
So
heal
it's huge.
slows
Absolutely huge.
everything.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look then at round 4. Let's get into it.
All right. Boz Deep. Taking it slow. Down the center.
Oh,
Already having an E buff.
instantly.
Immediately caught him with the DOD.
Nice
He
V.
manages to get the V off at 6% health. Good grab coming from Viol, taking the V from the Berserker. Now they just have to hunt. They just have to hunt.
They're
They see
focusing
the caster again. The
so
caster's
hard.
by
yeah.
itself. Not getting any peels. Caster still trying to stay alive.
He's not doing bad though. Like he's
very good positioning,
that's
but
not
fortunately grabbed
Yeah.
by Viol.
2 people already. That's the one strike and Chivalry
Oh,
died
that's
there.
so much damage. Succession Mystic did end up dying, but Boz Deep is going to secure the win for their team.
Yep.
That's tough. The Succession Witch is getting so much pressure,
Yeah.
right? But the fact that she's moving very well, right? For Succession Witch, it's
Yeah.
not like Succession Wizard. She's definitely moving a lot better than I was expecting, to be honest. Definitely showing a good play, good gameplay, good positioning, right? She's just not really getting too much peels. That's the problem that's going on here.
And I do think, like, in that last round, for instance, she was moving very, very well until she moved back into the middle and turned her back to the opposing fight.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
all they did is they just turned around and caught her immediately. But we'll see if Heskey continues their streak or if Good Morning Club is able to change it up a bit and make something happen. Let's go right into the next round.
Keep up their streak. You mean their domination? All right. Let's see if Plebs can bring it back. Come on, Slim. You were RP crawling in the last match. You have to bring it. You have to bring your A game. Big positioning from the caster. Oh,
got
unfortunately
CC'd
getting CC'd.
unfortunately,
But
yeah.
will have their V up. A lot of damage was dealt. Boz Deep was taking a lot of damage.
They were taking a lot of damage.
The caster has to get back into this fight. Caster ended up climbing a wall.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Okay,
that's not the
interesting
worst.
play, but he has to get the communication. He's attacking through the structure.
Yeah,
A lot of damage being dealt from the caster. Striker needs to stay alive. Striker's E buff is very low. Succession Mystic getting slowed. They have to fight next to their caster right now. They can't be fighting this far because the caster has free range on the other side.
Yep.
The Zerker will be going down. Zerker still has his V, but okay. The Striker ended up dying because of the Zerker V. And pressuring the caster. Caster's not going to have anywhere to go, but did get the CC on this. Did get the CC on the Succession Mystic. Double the. Nope.
And
Instant grabbed. That's unlucky.
To be honest, I think that's the first time ever I've seen a caster climbing up
Yes,
there.
but
He stayed there for so long,
Yes,
too. He was there for like half the round.
100%.
The thing is, this is not the worst thing to do actually, but the other two of the team, they were not staying close
They
to it.
need to fight in
yeah,
that vicinity,
in that
right? And they would
area, yeah.
they probably would
So
have won that round. To be
maybe,
honest.
maybe. Like the approach was good
Yeah.
actually from the caster. That's good. She's climbing somewhere and using the area, but
That's what
team
happens
was
in
not
Arena
following
Solaire as well. That's
Yeah.
how the casters play because they know they
That
get
is
focused.
true,
Yeah.
for sure.
oh, and Stars End Beach, like they also stand up those rocks all
Oh,
the time,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the strikers.
Of course. Yes, well, Heskey is up 4-1 in this match. It could be the potential final round. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Surely, good morning could say
Good
good morning.
morning.
With the reverse sweep, right? All right, we have Boz Deep already on the huge flank with Overload, trying to get towards their back line. Succession Mystic kind of holding the zone behind their team. Looks like the caster is basically just gonna get some free cast here. The Zerker already getting focused. A lot of damage on the Succession Mystic. Overload holding. I cannot believe the Striker didn't punish that DOD. I cannot believe that.
I think he should have grabbed him there. Like that was.
Oh,
Oh,
good
uh,
CC from the Succession Mystic. Immediately dead. He can't V that. He already used his V. left into a 2v3 scenario. Berserker's probably going to be the next one focused here, and he is. Viol with an extreme ankle break. Broke his ankles, went to his back.
With the strike and a 1v3 again, but there's not much. He's slowed.
Oh, striker in the
He
ground.
tried to
Oh, he
grab
gets the
there.
B?
I don't know why he tried to
He's
grab
going to
there.
be hunting. Viol's looking for the Solar Flare.
Nah.
Mystic.
Next to the
immediately
Mystic, no, I don't want to
That's
do that.
very
Well, big stuff from Season Heskey. Congratulations to you. That is a clean 5-1, and they will be taking that Grand Finals prize. Congratulations to you guys. And meanwhile, Good Morning Club, great showing in the rest of the
Yeah,
tournament.
absolutely. They still get second place.
We still
So
get second
that
place,
is
yeah.
pretty huge for them, you know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, placing over main.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Although
And
the
they-
grudge match, again, happened in the... They
Yes.
didn't get to actually fight main. But for this time, at least, placing over
They
main.
did take one. They did take the first round though.
That
the
is
first
true.
round
Yeah,
was clean.
managed to get
you know what I
around
mean?
after-
That was nice.
I think Bozip didn't expect that the first round.
No,
I also think they thought, okay, we will win this anyway, right? And they didn't gave 100%, and then they saw, oh wow.
Well, you know what it was the first round, right? It was the caster. Caster
The
had
caster?
that free space that it wanted because I think Boz Deep wasn't anticipating that the caster was going to be doing that much. But then when they saw the first round, it's like I said, they always have that first round and they talk about exactly what went wrong. And then they're like, okay, we're focusing the caster. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So they just extremely dominated. And they didn't leave another round for a Good Morning Club.
For
and
sure.
it is what it is. But congratulations to both teams, to be honest. They
Yes,
will be winning
congratulations.
huge
Let's
rewards.
get a little bit of a recap of how these teams fared. So, once again, first place going to Season Heskey, our Boz Deep team. Congratulations to you guys. Second place going to Good Morning Club, our Plebs team. Congrats to you guys as well. Third place to Cheers Brother, our main team. And fourth place to the fan favorite,
The
Bubs
Bubs
R
R
Us,
Us.
Bob's are us.
from Warped
Warped
Karma,
Karma.
coming out of nowhere, taking the fourth place. Congrats to you guys as well. Well, it's been an amazing time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fights to all
Good
the
fights.
teams.
Yeah, good fights.
Yeah.
Obviously, we did have like a couple DQs, which is a
Yeah.
bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
But we had some really, really interesting matches today. Really cool stuff coming out from the EU region, and some new teams showing their stuff.
Good, honestly, new team comps as well. There were some teams that we saw that, the Awakening Nova with the lawn.
You
or
don't
even-
see this often.
Yeah, you don't see that. No, you don't see that very often in tournaments. And the Sages.
Sages.
People brought Sages. Very nice, honestly. Super, super awesome teams and good plays for all the teams that showed up.
For sure. Well, before we go, we do have a nice little reward for you guys. We do have a coupon, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. That is going to be EU Season Best in EU.
Tell me, what does this come?
What does this come? Well, it's very similar to the NA coupon. It's going to be
Cron stones.
100 dust, 50 cron stones, and Enhancement Help Kit 3.
Can you collect them all and use them all?
Absolutely. So we did have our Asia tournament and our NA tournament, and there is a code for each of those. So if you want to check those out, these VODs are, of course, posted on our YouTube. You can check out all the matches from this season's TUVALA Cup, and there are 3 codes, so you can use all 3 of them. And to do that, you can just go to console.playblackdesert.com, log in with your Prolibus account, and then make sure that it's linked to your Xbox or PlayStation account in-game, and then you can go ahead and drop that coupon code directly into the website, and you will get the items in your in-game mail.
Perfect.
So, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been not only the EU tournament, but also the conclusion to our TUVALA Cup for this season, Dracania. It's been great. We had awesome stuff from the Asia side of things. We had awesome stuff from the NA side of things.
Yep.
And now today we've had awesome stuff from the EU side of things. Sly, Zach, is there anything else that you'd like to say before we close it off?
No, just congratulations to the winners and to all the participants. Honestly, you guys did amazing. Good fights to every single one of you guys. And I was not expecting some of the outcomes in the matches, but you guys kept me excited. I was super impressed. Thank you so much, honestly. Honestly, it's been an awesome experience. LA's been super fun.
It's awesome to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although you apparently never left the closet.
I never left. I was always in the
Closet?
closet.
Yeah.
I never left the office, so I was always here.
And Zach, anything you want to say to
Yeah.
your EU friends?
It was super nice. I enjoyed this a lot today. We unfortunately had not that many teams as we first had, but it was fine. I can't wait to see more in the future with our other TUVALA Cups or other Arena of Arsha tournaments again. But thanks everyone for coming. Really good fights, and yeah, LA was super nice. Thanks for inviting me
well,
here.
it's always a pleasure to have our partners with us in the LA office. So much fun streaming with them and romping around LA, doing all the fun things that you can do in travel. But this is going to be the conclusion of our TUVALA Cup. Thank you guys again for joining us, and thank you viewers for watching our full TUVALA Cup of all 3 regions. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
We lost power again.